here we are. We're back. We just started.
Back.
Back.
We're back from since last week.
Did I forget to turn my monitor off?
2 weeks.
Ridiculous. There it is.
Wednesday for me.
Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
right.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us so much. This is Live from the Apocalypse, and we are the crew of the good ship Nephilim. Welcome on in. Here at Live from the Apocalypse. If this is your first time being here, we are a tabletop RPG channel. We mostly do tabletop RPGs with the occasional video game stream or something else thrown in, with the goal to raise money for nonprofits, aid organizations, charities, and things like that. So basically on this channel, what we ask is that if you like what you see here, you are more than welcome to subscribe, especially if you have like a Prime sub, but otherwise, we mostly ask that you just donate directly to the organizations that we are fundraising for at that moment, and this stream raises money for Planned Parenthood. So if at any point during the stream you are so inclined, you can hit !PP donate. Yes, it is funny. Yes, it is the actual link. And the bot will post the donate link. You can throw some money at Planned Parenthood, and you can give the players advantage. We'll put one in the pool, and they can pull from it as they need it, because they will need it. That's mostly how we do things here. There are a couple other options. Like I said, if you want to donate, if you want to sub, you are more than welcome to. If you want to use your channel points, you can give the players guidance on their rolls, make them just a little bit better. You can hit emotes, and you can unlock some of our little mushroom friend emotes if you want. He's very cute. His name is Haz. Yeah. Nephilim, this game, is our near future capitalist hell future science fiction game. And we are very excited to be back. Last session, we unfortunately did have to say goodbye to one of our beloved cast members, Tayo, who just a little bit too busy to keep playing our silly games with us at the moment, but we'll be back in the future. And so instead, we are going to be joined this session by Julia, who some of you, if you watch our other streams, may know from Class Reunion fame, our D&D 5e game. Julia is now a member of the Nephilim cast, up until the game comes to its satisfying and natural conclusion. Yeah, I think that is all of the housekeeping. My name is Will. I'm the GM for this game. And with that being said, why don't we go around and introduce the characters a little? Julia, do you want to go first?
I mean, sure.
Well, maybe we should hold off because we're going to be introducing you this session. So we'll just let it happen.
We want to introduce Julia.
Yeah, that's true.
Not the character at all. Just
what are your hobbies? What are your interests? You know.
What grade are you?
Yeah.
What homer
grade. You know, I'm a working individual. I'm a legitimate adult human person.
She's lying.
It doesn't seem like something you'd have to assert.
You know, I am.
Questions about my adult human shirt that are answered by the shirt.
I am the resident Delaware cryptid, and that is pretty much the entirety of what you need to know.
Yes.
That's fair. Okay. Della, would you describe Jaxper?
Yeah, Jaxper is a permanently 19 to 22-year-old mess. He's got nanites in his blood, and that is slowly going to be killing him. Actually, a lot faster if he doesn't stop being a fucking idiot.
Yeah, Justin, fucking grip it, baby.
Thanks, Karen.
Slop that down, dude.
We appreciate you.
Dude, crack one for the big boy.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mom.
I hope that's in honor of Jax just ripping it in life.
Yeah.
Mhm. Just raw dog in life.
Just really
Just fucking
messing it up.
That's one in the pool. And $20 for Planned Parenthood. Thank you so much for donating.
Thank you, Mrs. Will's mom.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. So that's Jaxper. Maeve. Rouge, would you want to talk about Maeve a little bit?
Sure. So Maeve is probably the youngest in spirit, if not in appearance, on the ship. And she is the slightly sheltered, growing ever less sheltered mechanic slash kind of jack of all trade when it comes to patching up anything mechanical or human at this point for the ship and the crew. So she's just doing her best out there with a whole lot of situations she never expected to find herself in. But it'll all be better as soon as they get their old captain back, who disappeared under extremely traumatic circumstances, but is totally fine. And we'll make everything okay as soon as we get her back. Because that's absolutely what we're going to do.
Yeah, and that's definitely all you need.
That's what all of this horrific circumstances they keep finding themselves in has been for. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great point. All true, as far as you know.
Mm-hmm.
And last, but certainly not least, Ellis, Red Eye Maldonado. Who is this man?
Ellis is a mess. Ellis is the oldest and perhaps most worn and weary of the crew, especially at this point. Although I guess Jax is potentially technically older.
Technically older, but
yes,
doesn't act like it.
No. Ellis is an old miner, an old anti-unionist, an old syndicate crew idiot, an old fighter, a space tough, a ruffian, a poor cook, and apparently kind of the driving force of this band of idiots at the moment. At least the three of us. I don't know. Don't mean to presume about a new character coming on. But yeah, we're gonna find Grace, and don't worry, she's gonna take care of all of our problems.
Big thumbs up to that.
Yeah.
So last time on Nephilim, a whole lot of shit went down. You were involved in a prison break, or I guess a prison raid rather.
We were
You saved.
present for. We didn't.
Well, okay.
We didn't start it.
Yeah, that was not our fault.
That is true.
We
You
didn't
did
start
not-
it, and no one can prove that we were responsible for deaths of any of the prison staff.
Nope.
I suspect that actually people could prove whatever the fuck they want to prove in this neo-capitalist hellscape.
True. I mean, we finished it.
True.
You
True.
did. That is true.
Correct.
But you showed up with the goal to save one Simon Riggs, who was a prisoner in the labor and power camp, because he had some information to offer you in regards to the organization that he used to be associated with, the Church of the First Nail. And the church are colloquially known as Puritans, basically anti-technology space terrorists. In fact, you did not save him. A claim could be made that you were directly responsible for his demise. I certainly didn't make that claim.
Hold
Well,
up.
okay, wait a minute.
Who's making who? How did? No, I don't think so.
You blew up the ship that he was on.
That's
impaled.
people survive that
That's
all
true.
the time. Okay,
That's true. That wasn't me though this time.
that's a livable. That's a livable community.
The impaled?
Jax has been impaled like 6 times.
Yeah,
Jackson-
don't. Yeah, you
that's-
should. Not,
that's-
I'm not a. Yeah, no. Impalement sim should not have been counted in the statistics. It's a
Noted-
statistical
noted.
outlier.
Noted baseline human Jaxper Sim.
I mean, Maeve died and she's okay. So listen, I don't understand why.
Yeah,
this is a
like
problem.
I'm doing great. I'm doing
Yeah.
fine. I'm
No
doing
problems. Zero
fine. There have
issues.
been zero concerning side effects from that
None
whole
consequences.
that whole
Yeah.
Yeah, no
thing.
no consequences.
Right.
We're
What
all
is death
fine.
but a fleeting dream? I don't understand what the problem is with this.
You know, you've never been more right. Very good, very good, very good. Okay, cool. So prison break happened. You finished the job that your old associate Marcus Pike had sort of press ganged you into helping him out with, which was preventing the beverage-based mega corporation Zone Beverage Co. from making San Antonio, Texas, their base of operations, thereby just kind of ruining everybody's lives. Because nobody wants a mega corporation running their city. You ingratiated yourself to Takamagahara, the orbital space platform connected to San Antonio. You helped your dear friend 2019-15-R, whom you now know his birth name of Aoi Irada. And you helped him get out from under the control of said orbital space platform. However, unfortunately, he was forced to remain behind on Earth. You went back up on the space elevator to Takamagahara to where your beloved ship, the Nephilim, is docked. And we pretty much ended on you being able to re-enter your ship at last. And that is pretty much exactly where we're going to pick up on the Nephilim after more than a week, I believe, away from it, leaving it here on Takamagahara. You start powering things back up. You start checking on systems, making sure that everything is up to date. Maeve, I imagine, is probably sort of taking point on all of these systems checks. She is not a young ship, the Nephilim, that is. She has seen her fair share of wear and tear, and you never know what might go wrong with her. So it's definitely worth checking out. Maeve. You start bring her back online, and as you do so, you end up in the cockpit of the ship.
Okay.
With the
cockport.
Yeah, there we go. Sorry, I was confused for a second.
Yeah, no.
It's okay, Will. You'll remember eventually.
You'll figure it out. You'll get there.
Yeah.
No.
Space rocks fall. Everybody dies.
Yeah. You end up back in the cockport. I hope you're happy with yourselves. And
never been happier. Just starting out there.
And the empty pilot's chair where you grew so accustomed to seeing your friend Aoi sitting and piloting the ship, usually in solitude, usually pretty cut off from the rest of you, but obviously over the last month or more, you've gotten infinitely closer, and it seems a little strange now seeing it just sitting there empty. But as you start powering everything back on, you do notice from one of the console terminals that it appears you have a message.
What?
Yeah, crazy.
I'm gonna go ahead and play the message.
We just got a message.
You pull it up. It is a video file. the audio starts playing, and the video um, shows a man, an older man. He has very sharp cheekbones, but they are mostly concealed behind a snow white beard, very trimmed, very carefully and very close to his face. Similarly, his hair is also a sort of a shock of white. It is parted neatly over to one side. He is wearing a simple brown brown shirt, um, with a white coat over it. And he has these um, sm- very small, sort of like silver spectacles, sort of like very old fashioned for the times. You know, prosthetics, corrective surgery, things like that have sort of largely eliminated the need for eyeglasses in this point in human history. But whether it's a fashion statement or something else, you don't know. But these appear to be like eyeglasses. Um, and he like he sort of like his hand you see come back from presumably messing with whatever equipment he's recording this on, and he comes back into focus after going blurry for a second, and looks dead at the camera, and starts talking, and he says, hello, I'm not sure if this is going to find its intended audience, but I'm trying to reach the crew of the Nephilim. um, my name is Dr. Ivan Hayworth, and well, I'm not exactly sure how to start this. Honestly, I was hoping to speak to one of you, but I think I might be able to help you. I It would be easier to talk in person. I'd like to extend an invitation for safe harbor in on Tranquility, where I reside. I think we have a lot to talk about, and I'd very much like to ensure that you are well cared for and that you are safe before you continue on with this part of your journey. I suppose I'm not really sure who exactly will be watching this, but Jaxper, I think I've been looking for you for a very long time. And I hope that doesn't alarm you. My intentions are, if you'd like to speak more, you can contact me, of course, and I'd be happy to explain a bit more. But I hope that you will at least consider taking me up on my offer. Um, there's a lot of things we should discuss. Um, hope you're well. And then the communication cuts off.
It was just me watching that video, right? Yeah.
Yes, I did
Uh,
not bother to fetch any of you before I started playing it.
Yeah,
Dope.
just
So,
Maeve.
yeah. But after hearing all that, I would, you know, use the ship comm systems that I assume are there because, what sort of ship doesn't have comm systems of some kind?
Yeah, it's previously
And
established that exists.
yeah, and would have called both of them to come to the cockport to see this message that I just discovered waiting for us.
Hmm.
Does this doofus look familiar to me in any way, shape, or form?
I think we're gonna roll for that. I think you are gonna roll to scope it out.
Dope, dope, dope. Let me
So with
see.
calculating.
Excellent. That's +2 for me. Haha, that's an 11.
Thank you.
An 11. Perfect. You get 3 questions, so feel free to ask more if you'd like to. But with an 11, I will let you know that he does look familiar, but you are not from the facility where you were created or kept. In fact, pretty certain that you're pretty certain you've never seen this man in real life. And
Okay.
you're kind of having a hard time placing where it is you have seen him before. You have 2 more questions if you want to try to clarify that, or if you want to try to, suss out if you believe him or not, or whatever. That's up to you.
I guess my question is going to be, and I will probably be going into like the metadata of this, like of the file, and trying to pull a whole bunch of, sort of the sort of thing that 2019 could have done like that, but is going to take me longer because I can't use my fucking nanites for it.
Good.
Yeah. Well, I don't feel like dying quickly.
Smart.
So I'm going to be trying to figure out, basically who's really in control here. Who is this guy? Where is he actually from? Is he actually from Tranquility? And who else is watching this communication?
Yes. Okay, cool. So you go into the metadata of it, and yeah, you do see that it originated, as far as you can tell, from Tranquility. You see that it was also encrypted, and only like sort of decrypted itself upon arrival on your ship. So there was some extensive safety taken, extensive safety protocols taken on the presumably on this doctor's part, to make sure that it arrived in your hands, and ideally only your hands. It was also sent via the link, which is interesting and notable because in your current location, you have access to the net, and he definitely has access to the net as well. The link being that far more stripped down and lightweight system of data transfer between ships, that you can access when you don't have access to the net when you're out in space, things like that. Generally speaking, communication takes longer, is lower quality, and also tends to be more secure just by virtue of not being exposed to as many openings.
Security being inversely proportional to convenience.
Correct.
I guess what I'm going to do after this is, I'm going to ask, who or what here is not what they seem. And for that, I'm probably going to be relying both on my memories, the memories of my my brain friends, and space Spoogle.
Okay, and this is you trying to find out like
Who is
who
this guy?
he is and why he
Yeah.
looks familiar to you. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Very reasonable. You do find information on him. He is widely regarded as the father of nanotechnology, as it stands today. And the information you find after that is conflicting, because there are lots of people who he seems to pop up most often in exchanges, conversations, whether that is like through internet forums or internet communities or even research papers.
Mm-hmm.
He seems to crop up most often as people defending that claim. Whenever other folks are credited with the like birth of nanotechnology or the development of nanotechnology, things like that, there always seem to be people who jump in and say, actually that was all stolen.
Mm.
And then, it's the internet. So people are like, well, cite your sources. And then other people are like, well, I can't because it was stolen. But like, they do point back to sources, but a lot of it is anecdotal.
Okay.
And that is where you see him come up most often.
Okay. And neither of my friends, Shervin and what's 19's name?
19 never got a name, unless you would like to give him one.
Nah, he can just be 19. He can say 19.
Okay.
Like, if he wants a name, he can have one. But 19 never struck me as a guy who really wants a name. So yeah, Shervin and I. Do either of them remember?
No. Shervin, basically comes up blank. You're not going into your headspace. I assume you're just kind of probing. Yeah. So you get kind of like a negative indicator from Shervin's imprint, and then from 19's imprint, you do actually get sort of a ping. And 19 has far fewer memories of his own than the others, because he was absorbed by Elliot. He was, died for all intents and purposes the day that you all escaped.
Yeah.
So he has like really only existed as part of Elliot for the past 40 odd years, something like that. So he has a very clear memory of seeing some documentation that one of the scientists that you were all used to interacting with, like a manila folder that somebody had set down on a table, and 19 has a very clear memory of seeing a like small image of this man, this Ivan Hayworth.
Okay. All right. I trust him about as far as I could throw him, which, is pretty far, but still, I vote, fuck all this.
All right, fuck all this is in. You don't want to see the father of nanorobotics on the moon?
Why would I want to do that?
You are nanorobotics, right? I mean, I don't know. What? Aren't you like dying from like nanobots eating out your insides or something?
Kind of.
I feel like this might be I mean, it's a coinkydink, but it might be a handy way of, doctor in that situation.
He may have some technology that we could steal.
What? Why are we stealing technology now? We got priorities.
Shockingly.
I mean, what?
Shockingly, I don't trust. Okay. All right. Let me put this in the language you might get. Right.
Yeah, dumb it down for me.
I'm gonna dumb it down for you.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I'm gonna make this shit relatable. You used to be a fucking union buster, right?
Yes, Jackson. One of my less storied roles. Yes, correct.
Right. So you automatically would immediately trust any corporation that busts unions, right? Obviously, because that's something that you did, right?
Correct in that no, I would not, which was where you were attempting to get me to. No.
Yeah. See what I'm saying?
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
I am nanotechnology, so everything I am, everything about this, as far as I'm concerned, it's his fault.
I mean, all right. So then don't you want to, like, I don't know, slap him in the mouth or something?
No, I want to steal his shit, fix my brain problems, and, fuck off and find Grace. Or fuck off and find Grace and then find this guy, and he can fix my brain problems, but...
Well, I mean, we have to go to Tranquility anyway, and this is a place we can go. We don't have anywhere on Tranquility we can go. Like, I don't know anybody on Tranquility we can, like... we don't
Yeah.
really have the money for like tranquility docking fees. I mean,
Wait, are we
this
that
guy
broke?
is.
Damn, we should have stolen more shit from. Did Marcus not pay us for anything? God damn.
I
I think
tranquility
I
is
was actually gonna
expensive,
ask that.
guys.
Before we left, like if that constitutes the end of a job that we should roll for contract payment, because we kind of talked about it, but not.
We did kind of talk about it a little bit. Yeah, I mean,
But yes,
Marcus
as of
couldn't-
now,
yeah,
Maeve is correct. We did not make any money, and
Yeah.
so we have no money to land on the moon.
there is that. It is,
Okay.
But like,
it is not cheap.
so this guy is offering us a place to go, and like, I get what you're saying, Jaxper, that he may not be trustworthy, but like, we didn't think Marcus was going to be trustworthy, and that turned out all right. So like,
Strangely trustworthy, like unusually so.
Yeah.
Like running an orphanage now.
so like
That's
we
just-
can go in and we'll just keep our eyes open because we need somewhere to go, and we need his stuff specifically. It sounds like to keep you from turning
For
into like
what brain
a big
doctor?
pile of dead. So, you know, we don't exactly have a lot of options besides keeping our eyes out for what could go wrong.
Fine. I'm just I express my displeasure with this concept. Displeasure expressed.
Your
Noted.
displeasure has
Jack-
been noted.
Excellent.
Jaxper continues trend of distrusting doctors. Noted.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
When have we been
speaking
told to trust a
of-
fucking doctor?
For mechanical, just game mechanic questions, I did declare that I was doing a personal project of adding an auto dock to the Nephilim. So at some point, I need you to tell me how many ticks of work that is going to be, so I can start crossing that off to get myself an
Yeah,
auto dock.
that's
To
fair.
keep an eye on these totally non-concerning symptoms I seem to be having.
I mean, yeah, you can absolutely be working on the auto dock unit. You just got back to the ship, obviously. Would be a lot, easier if you like had access to some sort of expert in the field of, what you suspect might be the cause of what's been going on to you. I don't know. Like a subject matter expert, perhaps.
Yes, but we
hard-
did
hard to
also
say.
keep the plans from that auto dock we stole, right?
That is true. You do have that, and that is a definite blueprint that you can work off of.
Yeah, so I
it's-
can get the
it's
mechanical bit. I just might need some data from someone who knows how nanotechnology interacts with,
Well, correct, but like also to make it, you're not going to be able to just like cannibalize parts from the ship. You're going to have access to materials to physically construct it, which you're not going to be able to do while you're out in space.
No.
If you want to stay here on Takamagahara for a while and work on it, that's a definite option.
No, we have to go find Grace.
Well,
No, we have a story arc. Ugh.
Man,
but
I
I mean,
fucking
you
hate it
can.
when the plot gets in the way of my
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
Yeah, I hate it when game have plot.
This game
yes,
is about ducks.
you.
It's about what now? Ducks?
Space ducks.
Space
ducks.
Spucks.
Fucks.
Spots.
That sounds wrong.
It sounds real bad. I wish
There they
I
are.
wish we hadn't done it.
Ducks.
There they are.
It just
Uh,
looks wrong. It just
Yeah, I don't care for it. Okay.
no.
So yeah, you can absolutely be like planning the autodoc unit. You can even be like
Cool.
in the initial stages of programming it, but or like the software for it rather. But as far as the components that you're going to need from it, we'll say that it is like 3 ticks, a 3-tick personal project. But the
okay.
last tick will require you to have access to like raw materials and technology and things like that.
Cool. Making a note. Making
cool,
notes.
cool.
Making notes.
Making
Um,
robots, calling Dr. Picardo.
And like as you are all gathered there in the cockport to discuss this video message that you received, you are alerted to somebody like ringing your doorbell, essentially.
What?
Yeah, you are alerted that there is somebody outside of your ship, basically asking to be let in.
I jump to the arms to begin robot boxing.
I'm going to look at the camera.
You see, it's like a top-down view, like you're seeing from above. Somebody that you in no way recognize. Julia, would you like to describe Paget?
Sure. So when Jaxper looks down, he sees what appears to be a kind of wiry 20-something, kind of unkempt short brown hair, obvious sunburn and sun damage from the visible parts of the skin, kind of in like not like threadbare clothes, but clearly clothes that have been well worn. They're pretty average looking, like non-conspicuous type of thing you would see on almost anyone just walking down the street. Beside them on the ground is like a pretty big, like not big, but like a very stuffed duffel bag. And then clearly at their hip there is a pistol, but they are not in any way like touching it, non-threatening. Their posture is very relaxed, and they kind of like, they ring the bell, they look around, they're eyeballing the ship pretty hard itself, and then they reach forward and they ring it again. They don't look too bothered by there being a lack of an answer.
So we're still in the Taka port?
Yes, you are still
Okay.
in the port. You have not departed yet.
Okay. Am I able to get the one arm free to like reach around while we're in port?
Given the old
do-
reach
to do-
around.
To do what?
I would say definitely does not look like someone who belongs on this space station. Looks more like someone you would have seen down on the ground.
Well, yeah, like you're still in the like Taka spaceport, which is part of what's commonly called the underbelly,
Yes.
which is an area that like everyone has access to. But you know, things get a little more complicated with the upper section of Takamagahara 2. Like all Takamagaharas, you need citizenship to remain beyond a certain amount of time. So like you can certainly go to Takamagahara 2 and enjoy the nightlife and the city and things like that as a vacation, but you are required to leave after that. And if you don't, you will be removed and not allowed to come back.
I'm going to like look at Ellis and Maeve and then pick up the microphone, and if neither of them like take it away from me.
Hold on, I can grab her. Hold on.
No. What the fuck is wrong with you?
The last time somebody knocked on our door, we got into so much shit, I had to shoot him at the dining room table.
Yeah, that's what got us into shit. Don't shoot this one.
The time before that, I got gassed.
Yes, that did happen. We will ensure that she doesn't look like a boarding party.
Listen, I just want to grab him with the arm. That way we can shake him around a little. What?
Hi. What
Hello?
the?
Fucking hell.
What's your name and business here?
Hi, I'm Paget Iscalius. Is this the Nephilim?
Yes.
Okay. So you guys always do this?
Like the arm like comes up around the
Stop
ship
it!
and is
Stop
like,
it! Stop doing that! Jesus
What?
Christ!
I'm gonna get him.
No!
I'm very
It's like
confused about
50-50.
this.
I won't squash him.
Do you
I'm
want
very
me to?
confused about this arm situation because they are inside of Takamagahara and your ship is docked on the outside of Takamagahara. So there's like
Oh yeah. I'm trying like around the outside of the port. Like I'm gonna like pierce in to like.
What are you?
I look through the window right next to the thing,
You
and I'm
see
just
the
like,
arm. Like
Ellis, you are a minor. What is wrong with you?
you
yeah,
guys
so
have
I know
minors on
tensile
your ship?
strength. I'll be fine.
just gonna breach the side of the
Apparently, we
space
have
station.
children on this ship. This man is a child. Sorry, Paget. Why are you here? This has got weird very quickly. What? Yeah, what's up? What? What? Maybe you should be doing this.
You're doing great. Just keep at it.
I like to think I can hear all of this conversation.
Oh,
Like Jasper
absolutely.
didn't.
We're not slick.
Oh, Jaxper is absolutely forgetting to stop depressing the talk button, or like forgot to turn off or forgot to turn on push to talk or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just all going through.
Yeah.
Pat's like, okay, well, I went by the orphanage and the gentleman there said that you left and that I should come up here to talk to you. So I'm up here to talk to y'all. Actually, funnily enough, after talking with him down there, I think we can help each other. A little bit more than I was hoping we could help each other.
Okay.
Why does their history with Marcus make me less easy about this whole thing?
Because you have a functioning brain.
Marcus? I didn't speak to Marcus. I spoke to your friend. Arata?
Oh.
Oh.
All right.
I don't know if that's better, but
Yeah,
it's not
better.
worse.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah. Jaxper's going to hit the door. It's like, if you still want to bother coming on board the ship after we were all fucking weird, that's fine.
She's picked up the duffel bag, kind of slung it over her shoulder, and she comes right on in.
Okay, you step into the Nephilim proper, and you are basically in like the upper section of the ship. The Nephilim sort of exists on two different levels. There's like cargo hold, bunks, things like that on the lower level, and then the upper level has the cockport, sort of the galley area, locker, like crew storage, and then also where you have entered from. So it is not a large ship with a lot of space built into it, but when you come on board through the gate, you basically find yourself in the galley area, so that you can see that there is like a countertop, everything bolted down. Obviously, you can see a countertop. There's like some storage behind that. There are a few like very basic cooking instruments, like a one burner, essentially, that will probably have to be replaced soon. And then a metal table that's bolted down with chairs, which are probably the only things that are not bolted down in this area. And are you all receiving this individual in that area, or like?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, no, Ellis is in there like with the sledgehammer in his hand.
Just immediately. Paget walks in, she sees him, and she's like, hey. And she just tosses her duffel bag kind of like under the kitchen table.
Like a little jumpy, like, what the hell?
Are you, what, I need explanations. Verbs and nouns, please.
Sure, I can give you verbs, nouns. I can give you all kinds of things. So, I hear
Just broke Jaxper's brain.
I hear you need a pilot. I need a ship. I think that covers pretty much most of my bases.
Need a pilot? I don't know if we need. I mean, listen.
Yes, we need a pilot.
Right.
You
Wait,
can't pilot.
hey,
You
hold
can't.
on a second.
You can't.
I've flown this thing far longer than Arata ever did. I know.
Yeah, and
exactly
there's a
what
reason
I'm
we
doing.
got errata.
I don't. I mean, listen. I'm not saying he wasn't better than me. I'm just saying that I am a functional pilot.
The nicest thing I can say about your piloting is it's better than your chili.
Y'all are so polite to me. I've saved your fucking life so many times.
Okay. So outstanding warrants,
I'll note that
deep
0
secret,
on that is not the positive you might think it is in other jobs.
Yeah, deep secret, tragic history involving, kidnapped parents.
We do seem to hire based
puppies.
on angst. Angst does provide additional points on the CV. We
Yeah.
do.
Can't say I've got a lot of angst. If you do feel the need to talk to Marcus, you can get him to verify. I am a member of the Southern Pronghorn, so like I've never had any problems.
Oh,
with Marcus. We run in very different types of
shit.
businesses.
They're a gangster, Jax. They were in a gang.
Oh.
Ellis, you would actually
Yeah.
remember the reputation for that organization as being like barely a gang. Like technically they were
Gang's a
criminals,
gang.
but it was
I'm just saying, you know.
it was a lot of like street racing and boosting cars and stuff like that. Like yeah.
So Fast and the Furious, San Antonio edition,
All about
Mhm.
Space
family.
Drift.
San Antonio Drift, yes.
Yeah.
God.
So like you won't find nothing if you look it up, but you know it's not the worst.
No, I mean gang affiliation isn't necessarily a negative.
More like my concerns are more problems with foreign militaries.
No, not
What?
yet. I'm still
Okay.
young. There's still time.
Cool. Love the attitude. How do you feel? What is your comfort level about staring the icy grip of death in the face?
Wow, we're just jumping right into it, aren't we?
Well,
There's important things to know, man.
well, you know, I think I'd be okay with it. Play a lot of chicken, steal a lot of cars from a lot of people who like have personal guns. So like I can't say I've never faced death. I don't know if I've faced death the same way you guys have faced death. I think I should I clarify how I found you guys? Would that make you all more comfortable? Would that make him more comfortable? Because right now he looks like he's.
I mean, probably again, like Ellis is still holding a hammer.
We're fixing the ship. We're all holding hammers.
Yeah, oh sure. This one definitely looks like a tool.
That's
Yeah.
definitely not the kind of hammer.
Oh.
Actually, I saw you the most, and she points at Ellis.
What?
I was about a block and a half away from that little when it started, that little altercation you had with that Zone Beverage woman. I came down and saw all of that happen.
Which altercation? The one where she tried to shoot me, or the one where she did shoot me?
The one where she definitely shot you.
Yeah.
You and
Classic.
You and your friend just. That was a.
Yeah, you mentioned you knew Arata.
I don't know him.
He was there.
I did speak to him when I went to the orphanage to speak to all of you, and he explained that he was staying and y'all were leaving. So now I'm here with y'all.
I see.
Yeah. So it was very exciting. It was a good fight. News coverage was pretty interesting, and then not even was it. I don't think it was even a whole 24 hours when you guys were on the news cycle a second time. Messing with some Puritans.
I mean, listen, we're active. We're goal-oriented, multitasking organization.
And those are exactly the things I'm looking for right now. So, like I said, you need a pilot, I need a ship. I think this is all going to work out great.
I'm a little lost on the part about why you need a ship, and if you need a ship, why you think we're a good fit after hearing about what you already know about us.
Well, the Southern Pronghorns are pretty, all the ship and car stealing aside, they don't tend to go too far out of their territory. And I am definitely over the territory at this point. I'm looking to not expand, just explore. And you know what? You guys seem like the kind of people who get into a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff means a lot of excitement, a lot of adventure. I could take any old, labor ship or, colony ship out to anywhere and just have more of the same. Or I can just cut out all of the boring parts and come straight to the people getting into the most trouble.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like she's kind of acing this interview, guys. I feel like this is.
Listen, Here are some things that I value: my life, the truth, and a quality engine. I feel like I can get those things here. So let's.
Cannot guarantee
Qual-
your life.
Quality is we got an engine, and it is highly maintained,
Yeah, don't you dare
And-
speak bad about my baby.
venerable. Oh, I got a good question. This is one we should ask last friendly newcomer we found. How do you feel about theocratic, hyper-reactionary organizations hell-bent on the destruction of technological advancement of human enterprise? And or do you have all your arms?
I most certainly have all my arms. I got my legs too, in case you were wondering.
Handy.
Real. Yeah, I have no affiliation or love for those people. Like I said, I watched that news cycle.
All right.
Very
mean,
exciting
okay.
things.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. Do I? I don't think that there's a believability roll or a perception roll of any kind. How much are
I mean,
people
you could-
lying to Ellis now? All right.
You could scope it out if you want to.
I'm so fucking terrible at that. Yeah, let's give it a shot. Ellis will
right.
scope it out. Why
That's,
wouldn't you
plus
scope it
calculated.
out?
Jaxper spares all of his credulity for 20-something femmes. That's 100%.
Ellis believes all of this is on the level.
I mean, what's your calculation? Oh yeah, there it is. It's a 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you don't see any reason to question this young lady.
Yeah, that sounds right. And I mean, clearly, both arms right in there. So.
Sure looks like it.
Are you a medical professional?
No.
Okay,
That
great.
would have
perfect.
figured highly. That would have been
Perfect.
great. We could
Perfect.
use a medical professional, but Jax may have killed you in your sleep. So
You can't trust.
it's kind of a
doctors.
double-edged sword
You
there.
can't trust doctors.
You know,
Can't
she'll
trust
look at Jaxper and she'll kind of like nod along and she'll be like, by medicine life is prolonged, but death will seize the doctor too. I get it. You're good. Yeah, I get it.
She gets
Yeah,
it. She
yeah,
gets it.
that's the
She gets
depth
it.
of Jaxper's analysis on
Yeah.
such things.
That's
Yeah,
yeah. That
Yeah.
sounds way cooler. That
Yeah.
sounds way cooler than
Yeah.
than
Poetry
than,
and shit.
Than trauma.
Yeah. It's way cooler
Yo.
than trauma.
Dope. That sounds great. I mean, we need a pilot. I suck at piloting this thing. Ellis is better at piloting this thing than I am.
I am capable.
And
Solid B minus.
I just said you were better at it than me, dude.
Thank you.
I am
Appreciate it.
But
trying
somebody-
to be less of a dick these days.
You know, I mean, if Ellis flies the ship, somebody else is gonna have to work the arms, though.
That's true. That is
Oh, and
true.
you cannot trust me to do that. You cannot trust me to do that.
It's true.
Yeah.
4-man job. So yeah, I mean, presumably, one of you will show Paget to her bunk.
Which was Arata's bunk, presumably
Mhm.
as well.
Yeah. Sure was.
Approved.
Which one of you?
Ship
yeah.
confirmed.
Which one of you is gonna do it?
I vote Maeve because I know that I'm the way I am. I'm just gonna be an awkward man.
Babe, this is
Gonna
technically
be awkward around
legally
her
your
sooner
ship.
or later, but sure, I'll take the new girl to her bunk.
Listen, you've got to dole out the awkward in small pieces. Otherwise, it gets intolerable. I've flown on a lot of ships.
Been awkward in a lot of social situations.
I've been awkward in
It's
every
true.
social situation I've ever been in.
That tracks. That is
All right.
on target.
Here, come on. I'll show you a different place to throw your duffel bag besides under the kitchen table.
Thanks,
Sure
Maeve.
Just take my bag.
Welcome to the
Yeah,
Nephilim
Maeve.
pageant.
Thank you.
Maeve takes you down into the second level of the ship, where there is basically just like a long hallway. One end of it is a door that is clearly marked cargo, and then there are a few doors off to either side leading down to the other end, basically where the ship bulkhead meets it. So you do pass one larger bunk before you reach like the 4 smaller ones. And Maeve, I assume you're not going to give Paget Grace's bunk.
Not in a million years, no.
Yeah.
It's still got Grace's
So
stuff in
you
it, so.
That's true. You get shown to one of the other bunks, which but actually probably still has a lot of Arata's stuff in it.
No, didn't we?
Not that.
I thought we handled that.
So Arata couldn't come up to Takamagahara. Arata had to stay
no,
at the
you're
orphanage. But fortunately, he was a man of few possessions. So there is not a tremendous amount of stuff still present here. Probably
There's like that
a
picture
small...
of Neville's family, and like I think a knife.
I feel like while Maeve is like pointing out what few like amenities there are in the room, she's like actively collecting the stuff Arata would have left behind to like basically stick in a box to send him something.
Send him his
Yeah,
mail.
totally reasonable. So yeah, you have your bunk. You have been shown to your bunk, and you can like set your stuff up. Do you put anything up? Did you bring anything from Earth?
So if Maeve is still kind of standing there, what she would have seen is she just unzips the duffel bag and opens like I guess a drawer and like dumps the whole contents of it in, and it's like just a mash of like clothes and stuff. She pulls out like one of the like a standard pad com thing, drops that on the counter, and then she does have one of those like small kind of like photo album type things. It's not very large. She has that. She flips it open until she finds one that she deems acceptable, and she puts it out on the little table. And it is her. She looks younger, and then a couple of other people who you could presume are also Southern Pronghorns, and like a extremely nice red car that has had the shit kicked out of it. Like, it was an excellent car, and it has been absolutely destroyed, and everyone in this picture looks thrilled. And that's what she sets up, and that's pretty much it. And then she like
All right.
looks at Maeve and smiles.
I guess one last question. You don't know how to cook by any chance, do you?
I mean, some like, you know, like I was like latchkey from like a really young age, so like you gotta eat. So like I can cook livable food. I can't cook you any kind of like 5-star shit, but
that already makes you the best cook on this ship. So
you hear Ellis in the background openly banging around like we buy any more onions? Fuck hell.
So anytime you'd like to go and stop Ellis from doing what Ellis is about to do in that kitchen, would earn you some major points with the rest of us.
Yeah, sure. Whatever.
Ellis peeks his head around the corner. You like beans, kid?
I mean, beans are fine. For
Do
like,
not.
She's a fan.
No,
but like,
no.
But like they're fine, but
What?
like not preferable. Like, what else are you gonna
Right.
have with the beans? Are you just gonna
See?
have beans? Are you just gonna have beans?
I mean, no. Chili is constitute more than beans.
Why are you having chili?
Do not make this person your chili. I swear to God.
It's her first night. She's got to have chili, right? That's like
No.
tradition.
No.
It didn't kill Arata.
It didn't kill me either.
Your heart only stopped for like 3 seconds.
Hey, Errata and we're both technically immortal.
Oh, I
How's
was going
that
to say Maeve survived, but also I guess technically Maeve also is immortal.
Well, not at the time.
How does that work?
Don't worry about it.
Ellis,
You'll
like,
find out at the
1,000
worst
yard
possible
stare.
time. It's a that's also tradition. But no, you will not have to eat this man's chili. Do not cook this. Do not cook this person's
Why
chili.
are you all harshing my buzz this hard? It's so early.
It is my responsibility to harsh your buzz in this fashion, my good dude.
So where are we going?
Tranquility.
Robot doctor.
Ooh, the moon. Robot doctor. Oh, got
Yeah.
a robot
doctor.
on here?
Doctor for robots, not a robot who is a doctor.
Correct. Right. The less common.
You got a robot on here?
Autodox common.
No?
We're gonna.
You're getting a
Primary
robot?
care physician for robots. Yep. There we go.
All right.
Tranquility. Paget, you've probably never even like in all the times you've thought about leaving Earth behind, you've probably never really even considered going to Tranquility as an option. Tranquility, the moon, was sort of man's first destination after effectively abandoning the Earth as much as they possibly could. And as a result of that, it is populated almost exclusively by people who can afford it. People who could afford to get there and leave the Earth behind. It ended up being a joint operation between the U.S. and Russia originally, simply because both claimed ownership of it, and in order to avoid a conflict, that's sort of how things went. So the population, the initial population of Tranquility, was about half and half. And since then, it has become, if reports are to be believed, as close to a utopia as exists in the solar system. However, you have to be able to get there, and you have to be able to afford to stay. Docking fees, as previously mentioned, are exorbitant. Scrappers are generally speaking not given any preferential or special treatment, which is pretty at odds with the rest of the solar system. Scrappers are pretty much welcomed anywhere, because almost everybody else does business with the Scrappers Union in one respect or another. Tranquility could pretty much care less. And so yeah, that is Tranquility. It is the entire. It's basically the entire surface of the moon. By this point in time, has been covered in these like domed cities, with basically like covered highways between them. So it is an environment that exists almost entirely encased within these domes, within coverings.
So no like terraforming like Mars or anything like that.
No.
Cool. She looks pretty excited about that. She's like, wow. You guys do get up to some stuff then, huh?
Used to be way more boring.
I mean, we might be
That's-
robbing the doctor, so that's, TBD.
You hear him out first, but if he turns out to be evil,
As established, Jax is a little itchy around medical professionals, so.
You got white coat syndrome?
yeah.
He was wearing a white coat.
It's true.
It's no good. It's no good, man.
No good. No bueno.
Fucks up my blood
Okay.
pressure.
How long are you all going to stay on Takamagahara before you start heading to Tranquility? It is about the ring gates. High speed travel out to the far edges of the solar system and back. The ring gates start basically at Tranquility. So there's no like way for you to really get from Takamagahara to Tranquility faster than it would normally take, which is about 3 days.
Probably, I imagine we would stay long enough to send Errata back his stuff, and
Okay.
I would also send him a milkshake along with his stuff, and then we'd...
A Jaxper special.
Yeah. We're buddies.
Oh, that's true. Nano Bros.
We're
That's true.
Nano Bros.
Nano Bros even. Okay. You took
we
of
also
that.
need-
It
Fuel, I guess? I don't know.
yeah. I think that is more than fair, and I also think that as a direct result of that, we can take this quick opportunity to figure out what it is exactly that Marcus was able to give you all for your job. Now, I will say that we are probably going to exclude Paget from this unless any of you want to be particularly generous with your takings. Fair to say that, you know, Arata's portion went to him. So, what you are gonna do is you get to use your ship payment move.
Yeah.
Yeah, which super exciting payday. So you were gonna roll plus the contract rating. This particular contract was very dangerous. Marcus, however, cannot really afford to pay you the full value
Son of a
of
bitch.
what your job would cost. I mean, unless you want to take money away from the orphanage, of course. You could certainly do that.
Too.
You know,
Yeah.
food out of their mouths and all that.
Yeah, that's super cool of you. That's not emotional blackmail at all. It's fine. It's
Were
fine.
you
No, I
blackmailed
didn't-
into
I
this
didn't.
job in the first place?
Yes, we were. Thank you, Paget.
Yeah, frankly, we're lucky we're getting paid for this at all.
Yeah, that is.
I was like physically threatened for this one. He's lucky I didn't shoot him in a laundromat.
Physically threatened? I don't know about that.
Yeah. He
All right.
brought Tufts to our meeting.
Who's rolling ship
That is true.
payment?
That's a good question.
Because
We normally let Maeve do it.
yeah,
That's been the tradition.
All right.
So what's the plus?
So the plus for this particular the plus for this particular one is going to be dangerous. So it's going to be
Okay.
a flat roll +0.
Okay.
It would be higher, but Marcus simply cannot afford to pay you what you're worth.
So that is a 9.
That is a 9,
We get to
which
choose.
means that according to payday, you get to choose 2.
Hell yeah.
Where the heck in the heck is payday on my character?
It's on the ship sheet.
Oh, okay, yeah, that would be why.
Yeah. So Rouge has access to that.
So, for our ship, our choices are you keep the wolves at bay, reduce debt by 1, and reset the debt fuse. You pay the maintenance cost for your ship, reset the maintenance fuse. You get the ship patched up, remove all damage from the ship. You purchase an upgrade for your ship. You go shopping for a new vehicle, roll test drive. You fill your ship's cargo hold with lucrative goods for sale elsewhere and roll lucrative exports to determine what cargo is available. Or you divide the spoils for some walking around money each crew member rolls on Hey Big Spender. So
Well, we don't need to remove damage.
Yeah, we didn't use the ship at all. So there's no damage. We still are very much in debt to the Scrappers Union. We basically have done nothing about that this whole game. But and then we are fine on maintenance. So the only thing that's really relevant would be maybe our debt, although we haven't been actually doing anything with the debt fuse.
We should probably.
Well, it shouldn't be at 0 unless last time you might have gotten one on the debt fuse and then immediately paid it off.
I think so.
Okay, so the same thing is going to apply to this one. You're going to mark one on the debt fuse unless you
Okay.
want to choose that as an option.
Okay.
I don't think we have a reason to get a vehicle.
Yeah, I don't think we particularly need a vehicle. We've already got.
We got a car thief now. She can steal us.
Yeah,
one.
right.
That's true.
We've already got
Gladly.
missiles, sensor array, and tether for our actual upgrades. We've got 1 tick towards redundant systems, which would allow us to take more damage before it actually affects the ship. But even if we took one of those, it wouldn't be relevant yet. And
Unless you took it twice.
Yeah, unless we did both of our paydays to right now towards getting redundant systems. I don't think it really makes sense for us to have lucrative goods for sale. We didn't get anything.
No. I mean,
Unless that's what it is Marcus basically was like, well, I can't pay you, but I got a whole
Right.
bunch of black market shit you can have.
Exactly. Here, take this to the moon.
Yeah. And then there's, of course, the Hey Big Spender, which would mean we personally, as players, would get shit.
Right. Which is always nice.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I agree with keeping the wolves at bay for one, but
Yeah.
other than that, I'm down for whatever is the group consensus.
I'm fine
Okay.
for that as well. I think that it makes sense.
Maeve, do you have
to-
any strong opinions on number 2?
I guess the things that makes the most sense would be either getting goods to sell on the moon, to also tie into what we have as a way to be grease and palms, etc. when we get there, or the Hey Big Spender if people think that they have stuff they want to do with their individual characters, if they can manage to get some stuff.
Out of character, so like in character, Jaxper would be like, "Pay me!"
Yeah.
But out of character, in terms of moving plot forward, I think trying to sell stuff and like fencing things is going to get us involved with more plot stuff, or easier involved with like plot stuff. And it also, as you say, it makes sense that Marcus would be able to pay us in like contraband for sale as opposed to like I feel like that just makes the most plot sense to me.
Okay. So we want
Yeah.
to go with lucrative goods.
Let's go with the lucrative goods.
Yeah, it's not great.
Okay.
So let's find out.
So we have to roll lucrative exports to determine what cargo we got from our ill-gotten deeds.
Which means we would roll
So-
plus our disposition with the local vendor or contract.
So that is when you hit the markets. So it depends if you're trying to offload your stuff
Ah.
here or in Tranquility.
Well,
It's going to
so
be
no,
tranquility.
we roll lucrative goods first to get stuff, and then you roll mercantile to sell stuff.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Okay. So let's say
So
that
if we're
you
getting
got
stuff-
this stuff.
Yeah, from Marcus.
Yeah, from Marcus. So your disposition with Marcus is obviously great. So disposition, we're gonna say that is we're gonna say that's +2.
And I'm
Alright.
going to vote that Ellis roll this one since Marcus is his boy.
On it. So on a 9, well, that's great. It's either contraband or cheap, and it's going to be contraband 100%.
Yep.
Marcus definitely has contraband cargo.
Yep.
Yeah, contraband cargo is illegal. If you're caught with it by the authorities, they may arrest, fine, or attack you depending on laws and the kind of contraband. It can be only sold to criminal contacts, but when you sell criminal or contraband to a criminal contact, take a +1 on your mercantile roll.
So that is a separate move that you were going to use once you get to Tranquility and you try to sell your stuff to the underworld there. For now, your cargo, your cargo hold of your ship is just full of illegal stuff. Congratulations.
Well, yeah, what illegal stuff is it? So that we know how to hide it.
What do you want it to be?
Well, we're supposed to describe it, it looks like, from the roll.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So what kind of contraband do we think Marcus has got for us?
You know, I feel like if we want to get I feel like it's actually like not like physical cargo. I feel like it might actually be like Marcus seems really canny.
So
So
illegally obtained secrets, perhaps, or illicit information.
I was thinking like codes to like reset like vehicle or ship transponders.
Illicit software.
Yeah.
Option 1.
Yeah, I was thinking of illicit software so that, for example, if you ran just too many fucking Tranquility red lights, you can either, and you can't afford to pay off that fine, you can just change the thing on your car so that you
So
can keep
it's
running red
the
lights.
code that Neo was selling in the Matrix. Basically. We're running
Yes, it has been
on
way too long.
floppies. It's always on floppies.
It's always on floppies.
It has to be on 3.5, 11
Yep.
floppies.
Don't copy that floppy.
All right, hand scrawled on there,
It's true.
like partially transparent, so that you can see the
Mhm.
the data disk on the inside of it.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't download a car.
Right.
I would
Yeah.
download the fuck out of a car.
I would
Actually,
Right?
and that's
Like,
what our
don't
whole
tell
list-
me.
Yeah, don't tell me what to do. I
Boss of me, FBI.
Yeah, I think that our cargo is electronic.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. It makes sense. It's easy to hide, easy to conceal, probably much easier to get rid of in a place like Tranquility than a physical thing. Why didn't it ban you, Justin? What secrets do you know that stopped our bot from banning you for posting a link?
Didn't you give him like
Did you
leniency?
hack it?
Didn't he
Oh,
get
Are
shit.
you
leniency
elite?
last
Are you
Tuesday?
elite Haxor?
Oh
you-
god, guys,
no.
they're hacking Twitch.
They're hacking Twitch.
Hack the planet, guys.
He's too powerful. He must be stopped.
Unbannable,
You-
unmanageable.
Ungovernable.
You yeah, so your drive is full of terrible software secrets. And
I don't know. I kind of
after
like the idea
you-
that it's
you know-
literally a box full of illegal floppies. Like, it's it's a box of software.
yeah, all right. We can say that
It's like
we can
data
say that floppy
sticks.
drives made a comeback.
It's
Yeah.
like data. It can be like data sticks.
They're really
Yeah,
high
it's like
end.
data-
Yeah.
It's like data sticks, but they are flat and like roughly the size of like a piece of toast, and they have like
Yeah.
a silver, center to them.
Yeah, and they hold like
It's
30
retro.
terabytes apiece.
Exactly.
Because nothing will ever exceed
so-
30 terabytes, and this game will age perfectly.
So you have a box of those, as previously established, that you have squirreled away somewhere, and you are theoretically ready to depart to Kamagara too.
Hidden under coffee beans so that nothing can sniff them out.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, good to go.
Coffee is
Okay.
the one thing that we
Alright.
do let Ellis make.
It's the
Yeah,
only thing
because he can't mess it up because we have like an auto grind percolator. So as long as you pour coffee into it and push the button, it comes out right.
Actually, I was trying to be like say that Ellis is actually like a complete savant when it comes to coffee, and that's why
Absolutely
he thinks
not.
all of the rest of his foods is delicious because his coffee is so good.
I would love if that were the case as someone who is a coffee semi-snob, but no, Ellis is a street cowboy who boils hand-broken beans in a tin pot and then chews it every morning. The ship's coffee is the fanciest thing he's ever experienced because it grinds it and there aren't bits in his teeth when he's done.
Cool.
You've played Shadowrun. You've heard of
Yep.
the legendary Street Samurai. Well,
That's right.
Get ready for
Or street cowboy.
Street Cowboy.
That's right.
the whole time
Space
Paget-
cowboy.
Yeah. The whole time they've been doing all of this, all of their last minute kind of stuff, Paget's been mostly spending time like familiarizing herself with the ship. A lot of
Yeah.
time up in the cockport, like checking everything out.
To the best of your assumptions, everything you were told about the ship is accurate. It is old. It is not like in the best of shape, but it is well cared for and well maintained. Like a lot of the fixes and the repairs and the things like that you have seen while on the ship are properly done. Like there's not a lot of bubble gum and like duct tape situations on here. But yeah, the ship itself is nothing special.
Not
How dare you?
Well, I don't know. Like, I'm assuming you didn't go poking around, or did you?
so she wouldn't have gone poking around in the sense of like being sneaky about it.
Mhm.
But she would have definitely at some point like jerked a thumb over at the obviously closed up, unused uh bunk and been like, so you guys used to have a fifth? Because I assume Maeve, you're in charge, right? So who was your fifth?
It's pretty clearly like it probably even says like captain on
I
the front
assume
of
it does. Paget is just at
Yeah.
this point basically like, instead of just being like, tell me the story, she's kind of trying to
Mhm.
she's trying to make it more like, yeah, you wanna
It's
level with me?
yeah. So the Grace, our captain, this is her ship. Ellis and I are running it for the time being, but we're looking for getting her back. So that's actually why we're going to Tranquility. We're going to talk to some people there. So, but yeah. So we're not taking over her cabin because she's gonna be back on the ship soon.
That's
So
thoughtful. That's nice of you. And
Yes.
then I'm gonna go
And
to Jack's.
you fully believe Maeve's frequent assertions that they're she's alive. They're gonna find her. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah,
Grace is fine. Grace is fine. And we're gonna find her, and that's gonna make everything else fine.
I hear all that. I take it in. I say that's good. And then I go find Jaxper. Doing whatever Jaxper's doing.
Jaxper is actually probably like weightlifting in his little corridor gym area. He has not been able to do that in quite some time, and so
Yeah, the like crew storage, which is like a two like walls lined with lockers just off of the galley, has like a bench with a barbell, some weights.
A boombox gaff taped to the wall.
Yeah.
Plain hair metal.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So after she leaves Maeve, she goes to find Jaxper, and she like kind of leans into where he's working out, and she goes, "Hey,
Yeah.
so when we get to Tranquility, are we actually going to be talking to people, or are we gonna just be like?"
So there's this guy.
There's a guy.
There's a guy who's on Tranquility. Says he's been looking for me.
Ooh.
Right? Somebody says, "Hey, I've actually been looking for you for a really long time." What's your first thought?
Depends on how they say it. If they say it in that kind of like really excited way, then you know that they are probably full of shit. But because like, like when you run into someone at like the grocery store who's like, "Oh, it's been so long since I've seen you. I've been thinking about you. How are you? I meant to catch up." Bullshit. But if they're like totally kind of like, I'm putting the time in, looking for you, they probably care.
Yeah, okay, so
there's sincerity.
There's sincerity. Sincerity, I got. Good thing, bad thing. Because, you can sincerely want to look for somebody and want to find somebody, but they're sincerely wanting to look for somebody to be like, "Hey, dude, you seem cool, and I wish to help you out." And then there's sincerity like, "Hey, dude, I would like to mount your head on some kind of cool piece of rare wood in my study. And I don't know which one this is, so."
It's fair.
Normal things. Really, between those two options, there is no other, possibility.
It's got to be one or the other. So you think so she thinks when we get to Tranquility, it's gonna be talk, and you think when we get to Tranquility, it's gonna be talk. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But we're gonna be full disclosure. Maeve does talk. Ellis and I do talk. So Maeve hopefully will win, and it will just be talk. If it's not, Ellis and I will handle it.
Cool. Sounds like a plan. All right. I'll see you later. And then she just leaves.
Cool, bye.
She does
The
not.
entire time, by the way, this conversation has been happening. Jaxper did not stop. Like, and so you see he's moving an absurd amount of weight without pausing for a breath or
He also
or
didn't
anything.
blink because he forgot to.
He
That
also,
gets
yeah,
fine.
he also may not have blinked because he might have forgotten that he's supposed to do that.
I don't know if Padgett got
Ah.
close enough to notice that part. So
Yeah.
then she just files that away.
Blinking is an active activity for Jackson.
I wrote
Right.
some code to make it automatic.
How much is
So-
he? How much is he putting up?
What are you benching?
What-
Just out of
what's-
curiosity.
Just out of curiosity. I have
Like
no idea.
560
Yeah, I
or
have,
like
I have no idea.
over 600 is a
weight-
world record.
How much of the weight can Jaxper fit on the bar? It's honestly
Oh,
probably
Yeah,
that.
there's the bar would fail at a certain point. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
that is.
I
yes.
think Jaxper's moving all of it, or at least most of it at this point, without really much
now you
effort.
see that
Yeah.
the trick is Jaxper doesn't push the weight up. Jaxper pushes the ship down.
That's true. Just want to point out that that would probably involve using your nanobots. So Jaxper's bench might be a little less impressive these days, and I don't know how he feels
That's
about
right.
that.
You had to take a couple plates off. Oh fuck.
Yeah, like
That's a big
this
blow.
might be Jaxper's. This might be Jaxper's first time benching. Like,
I think during that conversation, he probably was just like in sort of his hey, welcome,
Hey.
in
Woo.
his zone, just like I'm weightlifting, man. And then after Paget leaves, I suspect Shervin is like, you can't
You can't stop.
stop.
Enough.
um,
You aren't a gorilla anymore.
But I want to be.
sorry, there's a weird noise in my house. Yeah, okay. So Paget, this is your first time behind the controls of the Nephilim. You sit down in the chair, and y'all like
Alice
y'all
is in
just
there, and he's definitely not
yeah. I
was
looking
curious.
over your shoulder.
So so do the others come to inspect as well, or do you trust me?
Alice has reason to be there. He is at the arm controls,
Okay.
but also is very like wary.
Paget
He does
assumes
operate
that
the grappler arms.
after being here a couple days, Paget makes the assumption that you are there because you don't trust her, and
Yeah.
the robot arms are the excuse. And she is not going to call you on that. She's going to let you pretend that you are secure in your position here.
Alice begrudgingly respects.
It's best.
It's
It's best. So you drop off the side of Takamagahara. You get cleared for departure from Takamagahara control essentially, and you drop off the side of the station, and your engines kick in, and you start flying through space. It's been a while for all of you. Longer for some of you than others, and that's all I'll say on that subject. But yeah, you the engines kick in, and you start charting a course for tranquility. Paget, you feeling confident?
Yes. I think she's the couple of days that she had learning this ship specifically, like in the cockpit, and also like reading on her pad about like this kind of a ship and the controls. I think she is very confident. Like this is all she has wanted for so long, that
Mhm.
she has for once like really done her research on this particular vessel. So I think
Okay.
in this moment she is probably the most confident she can be.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, cool. So you chart a course, and you start flying to tranquility. For the most part, it's gonna be an easy trip. Like getting away from Takamagahara 2 and the traffic around it is easily the most challenging part of this journey. Because obviously, once you're in open space, it's basically just a straight shot, unless there is some sort of freak accident, which has never happened to this crew, so you'll probably be fine. Um, and as you leave Takamagahara 2 behind, as you sort of exit the ship lane that all of the departures are passing through, funneling everybody out into the black to avoid any of said unfortunate incidents. I want you. I'm gonna say actually, I don't think I'm gonna require you to roll. Actually, no, I am. I want you to roll scope it out, but mostly because you have a bad feeling.
Okay. And scope it out is calculating.
Plus calculating, yes.
It's an 11.
Damn. That is an 11. You get 3 questions from the list if you have it pulled up. All of that is in the resources tab if you didn't get the PDF open. But you get to ask 3 questions from the list. And I imagine the majority of them will probably be related to what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, probably.
For the friends at home, those are: what's my best escape route way in? What should I be on the lookout for? What's my enemy's true position? Who or what is here is not as they seem? What's really in control here? How can I best end this quickly? Or who or what here could be a useful opportunity?
Mm-hmm.
Got a lot of options.
It's a ton of options. To diagnose exactly what's going on here, I would say probably who or what here is not what they seem.
I would agree with
Would
that.
make the most sense.
Yeah.
Cool. You'll have 2 questions after that you can use if you want to. But as you are moving through the space traffic line, leaving Takamagahara, you sort of notice like it's a very sort of winding route, and out of the side viewport of where you are, you start to notice at first and then continue noticing 2 ships sort of like making their way up the ranks. Which is not like protocol at all. It is normally it is normally like forbidden because it's so dangerous. Something could happen. You're not supposed to like pass other ships in the departure lane. That's why Takamagahara like schedules those out the way that they do. But you notice that there are 2 ships, seemingly identical ones, doing so. Slightly smaller than the Nephilim. You don't recognize the model immediately. All you can really tell about them is that they are slightly smaller, definitely newer, and they appear to have matching paint jobs. They appear to be red.
All right. I think she sees them, and she to alert Ellis without making it seem like she's concerned about it. She will gesture kind of like towards the controls and be like, it's a shame they don't make ships like these with horns for when people break out of their lanes. And she will then thumb towards the ships.
Ellis, given how life has gone in the past, I don't know where time is, and that's player and character. Ellis immediately slams the equivalent of the general alert and immediately engages grapple warfare mode. It's like, all right, time to fucking go. Like,
Oh.
he's not going to initiate everything, but his assumption is if a ship has drifted that close to us without some level of awareness, it is not an accident. And either there's been a horrible problem on that ship, or they're beginning shit, and Alex will not be beat on such a stage. So, yeah, like slaps
No,
the
that's
red
very
alert
fair.
button.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can absolutely tell that like they're not drifting; they're flying with purpose, and there are two of them. So
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, arms are out. Let's go.
yeah, okay.
She's just like, oh,
So
okay.
the
You never been in
grappler
a
arms
fight,
kind
kid?
of like
It's time to fucking go.
Of course I've been in a fight.
In a spaceship?
In a vehicle?
All right, close enough. Let's go.
Jaxper comes stomping through wearing a haz mask, handing out gas masks to everybody, like rebreathers.
Yeah, so Jaxper, you obviously hear the red alert, and you start, distributing this stuff. Maeve, you also hear the red alert. Presumably, you were keeping an eye on the engines since you basically were just taking off for the first time in a while. So you kind of like, I think the two of you actually kind of meet in the hallway because you leave the engine room, which is right off of the locker room where the bench is, and Jaxper, you, as previously established, have been lifting. So you both like hear the red alert. Maeve, you come out of the engine room, you see Jaxper standing there. The red light is flashing all throughout the ship, and the loud noises is sounding to let you know that something is wrong.
You have any idea what the fuck is going on?
I don't fucking know, man. It hit a comms thing on the wall. Ellis! What?
We're in a fight.
With who?
Don't know yet.
Are they on the ship or?
Have you
No,
tried
outside.
Have you tried hailing them?
Oh shit. Okay.
Well, so
Oh my god!
so there are a couple. There are still a large number of other ships around you because this is a traffic lane.
Right.
They're working their way up the ranks, attracting quite a bit of ire and agitation from the ships that they are passing. You can tell just by the way that they are flying. The other ships rather to like get out of their way.
Right.
Julia, Paget still has 2 holds of scope it out if you'd like to ask more questions. Like you could.
The two I'm looking at is who or what here could be a useful opportunity, and also where is my best escape route.
Okay. All
Those are
right.
the two that she would immediately, because I think in her background it would mostly be when you steal something, you have to know how to take the thing you are stealing away from your pursuers, which would either be the cops or the person you stole it from. So these are 2 kinds of things that she would be, instinctively looking for when it comes to knowing that they are being followed by another vehicle.
Okay. So you're asking what your best your best escape route is essentially.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with that one. Paget would know. Well, I'm going to answer as Paget. Paget, your best bet for this is to do the same thing they are, because if you leave the lane, they're just going to be able to do that and get to you faster. If you stay where you are, they're going to catch up to you. But if you also start like weaving in between the other ships, then that's going to make it harder for them. And theoretically, at least, as long as you don't crash into anyone, you'll be able to stay ahead of them. Really, like it's that, or like wait for them to catch up with you and see what happens. Or you could try your luck just sort of like leaving and flying out into open space. But I mean, that's going to make you just a real big target. Now, I will say, keep in mind, in the world of Nephilim, very, very uncommon for ships to have like guns or weapons really of a traditional nature. So that's not to say they don't exist. It's just very uncommon.
Hence, grappler arms.
I'm gonna put my railgun on the ship. I'm gonna do it.
It's an option.
Wait, so as in like Tau Katao, you're gonna stand on the hull of our ship with a gun,
Yes.
or
You're just gonna
Thank
put
you.
on the spacesuit,
Full-
just climb up
I-
there.
thank you.
Full Amos. I'm doing do it.
I mean, we all knew this moment was coming sooner or later.
In fact,
so-
I'll do it. I'll do it now. Do we want to do it now? Hey, Nate.
Well, Padgett? What was your second question? Remind me, because you asked what's your best escape route, way in or way past, and then your other one was what should I be on the lookout for?
Who or what here could be a useful opportunity?
Okay.
So who can I use to my advantage here to, you know?
Well, you could try. I think the only thing that's really coming to mind here, aside from again using the other ships, like I just let you know, your only other thing you can really think of would be hailing Taka 2, because every Takamagahara orbital platform has basically a standing army, the Orbital Defense Force. So if you claim that somebody's out here violating violating the space lanes, flying in a risky way, they will probably dispatch somebody to attempt to deal with it. You just don't know how fast that will be, how quickly they will get here, or if you'll be able to get away in time. And if you start doing the same thing, and also have reported that somebody is out here flying erratically and disregarding the laws of the shipping lane, then they're going to presumably hold you accountable for that as well.
Yeah.
It's a tricky situation.
Again, have we tried hailing them?
Yeah, that was where Alice was gonna go next, but we're doing this first.
You certainly can.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And Burning Fight makes a good point in the chat. Snitches get stitches, so
This is true.
True.
It's true.
That is true.
No tattling.
I think what Padgett's gonna do is, for now, in an effort to try. So she doesn't want to make it obvious that she's noticed them, so she doesn't want to start doing what they're doing immediately, but she is going to start kind of slowly, in that very polite zipper merge type of way, get closer towards the edge of the lane.
Okay.
And then she will say, well, if you want to hail them, now would be the time to hail them, because if you don't, in a couple minutes, I'm just going to try to get up ahead of them.
No, I mean, that's still a good plan. You should continue on with that plan. But I'll also yell at him on the yak box.
Yeah, Padgett will start kind of like looking out ahead as to like where she can start doing some weaving if she needs to, and she will set up the hail for Ellis.
Okay.
Yeah, I can handle that so that she's
Yeah.
focused on driving, because the arms are only useful in, grappler range.
Okay.
Well,
So-
I mean, you do have the quote unquote missiles.
20 kilometers.
Okay.
I looked it up. Also,
All right.
apparently we have stealth on this ship.
no, we don't.
That doesn't
have
seem
stealth.
right.
We do not have stealth on this ship.
Smuggler ship moves, silent running. When you engage your ship's stealth systems to avoid
Oh,
detection,
yes.
roll slick.
Oh, dope! I didn't know we
No,
had.
Yeah.
that is definitely a holdover from Grace. You definitely have that. But it's kind of like
But-
stealthing in D&D, right? Like if
Right.
they already see you, you can't just suddenly
it's-
disappear. It's not a
you can't just-
cloaking system.
Right, can't disappear. But anyway,
Yeah.
good to know. Yeah. So
I'm
Alice
pretty sure they
also
can see us out their
slap.
windshield.
Right. They have
Like,
visual contact.
Spotted.
Yep.
Ellis slaps open the comms channel to, I guess on a tight beam. I don't know how we're gonna rule comms work in this concept, right? Am I on an open CB, or am I actually trying to hail one
No,
or
so-
both of these?
There are so the way that it works is if you are within the vicinity of a planet or Takamagahara 2 or something like that, you have access to the net, which is basically the worldwide internet that surrounds all of these settlements, and you can communicate through that. Basically do whatever you want. There's also the link, which is that more lightweight version, and that specifically also allows for ship-to-ship communication. So you can absolutely, through either of those means, communicate directly with them. It's basically like opening a hailing channel, like a video call.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. So Ellis will try that to both of them, I guess, at the same time.
Okay.
Get on
Sure.
the group chat.
Yeah. Hit him with the group WhatsApp.
You do. And so you know, what you see pop up essentially on the console of the Nephilim are two blank spaces. But I will say that there is like a sort of a visualizer of the audio element along the bottom. Basically, like they're not to continue with Space Zoom, they're not turning their cameras on. However, you can see that like the audio part of their connection has been established. You can see the sort of visualizer that's going. And you know, if you want to say something, you can absolutely do that.
Yeah. Ahoy hoy.
Oh
Who
my
the hell are
God.
you?
You don't receive an immediate response, but you still see like the connection is maintained. You still sort of see like the visualizer of the background noise.
Mm-hmm. Alice is also like, I'm not gonna do it, but Alice is also like way too close to the camera.
Yeah.
As we've established.
But you don't receive a response. If you want to try saying something else to them, you can, but they don't appear.
Yeah, unknown ships. Is there a reason you're violating like multiple interstellar laws and attempting to aggress us in such a way?
Paget will yell out from her seat. She'll be like, ask them why they're driving like they're 13.
Yeah, did y'all steal them ships? What's going on? You're driving like you're drunk in 13, just to be more specific.
One of them, you hear a voice coming across the open channel, but it sounds distorted, like it's coming through a filter that's making it a little robot-y. And it says, Nephilim, you will not be permitted to exit Earth Coalition space until you answer for the murders of our people.
Whose people is that?
Oh shit.
I need to
Ellis, get off comms. Ellis, get off comms.
I think I know.
Ellis
To
definitely
be
listens.
fair, if we have to say which people instead
Yeah.
of being able to say we didn't murder anybody, what are you talking about? It's not a great look.
That is
Why would
true.
Ellis lie about that? That's straight up.
Actually,
Wait,
so
which
I
group?
I, the DM, forgot the word, but what they actually say is you will not be permitted to exit Earth Coalition space until you answer for the murder of 2 auditors.
Wow, we didn't murder any. That's not accurate. I wouldn't say there was no murder involved. We were present when an industrial accident occurred, but we claim no responsibility. And murder indicates intent. That's not.
Paget.
I was gonna say, Paget hears auditors. He starts rambling. She reaches under to disconnect the. She just closes the. She closes the call, flips the other one open, and she's like,
"Oh, I lost signal." Oh, yeah.
As soon as that closes, she flips on to the comms to the general ship, and she's like, "You didn't mention auditors when you mentioned everything else you get up to. Is everyone's seatbelts on?"
Yeah, we've killed like a lot.
No,
that's
no.
cool. Seatbelts, please.
Maeve is just gonna run to the closest place she knows where there's like a seat to strap into.
Alice is going to, as had been mentioned, Alice is going to actually begin the preparations for yeeting missiles at ships coming at us. Oh, we're not doing diplomacy. Oh, okay.
No. Do not throw missiles in a busy shipping lane. Holy shit.
Hey.
No.
It's just like, if you start doing that, then you're going to be a terrorist.
Yeah. Come on. I did not wake up this morning thinking I was going to do a terrorism.
Well, then we better not fight in the shipping lane. That's all I've got for you, because auditors don't ask twice.
Yeah, so I'm going to start doing the more bobbing and weaving and preparing to maybe just jet out into space, because the moon, the moon is, in theory, right over there.
Ellis's reason is sound.
Don't give him that power.
Padgett's just like, okie dokie.
No.
Just gonna treat
so-
this like running from any other cop.
Also, they had it
You-
coming. I just want to note, Paget, they had it coming.
You know what? I didn't ask.
Fair.
Click.
Paget, you're gonna roll to act quick. You're gonna roll with Slick to start flying the ship through the other ships. And I believe you have a move that comes into play when you do that.
I do. I have. Well, I technically have more than one. So I have Crack Pilot.
Jesus, Jen, is your keyboard
Jen is so
that
clicky.
loud?
Good news, it's not coming through.
Weird.
It's not coming through on stream. I couldn't hear it, which means they can't hear it.
Oh
It's
my
just-
god.
it's just us. So I
We're just special.
let's see. Yeah. So I have two that I could use. I think I'm gonna use Crack Pilot in this one because when you control a vehicle or ship and make a move to attempt to avoid danger, which I do believe this sure is,
It certainly is.
I have advantage, and so that is I roll 3d6. Is that correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
you are gonna roll 3d6 and take the two highest.
Okay, so I'm gonna take off my +2 just so it's flat, and see what it gets first. So that is going to be total. So I'm gonna take that 6 and the 4, and then my +2, so that will be a 12.
Yes. With a 12, you can definitely do it, which is fortunate because you start flying ahead of them. You start like sort of bobbing and weaving through these other ships. You step on the accelerant and the ship like shoots forward. You don't actually need to strap in Jaxper and Maeve because we've established all of the sort of inertia generators and things that the ships, that these ships come equipped with. But it is definitely like an uncomfortable sensation that you can just kind of feel in the pit of your stomach. It's not unusual for people who are inexperienced to just like get sick. Fortunately, you were both experienced.
Is
So you
Jack
should be
still
fine.
trying to walk outside, open the back
No, I'm not
porch?
going to do that until it's
Okay.
absolutely necessary because I have this little guy who lives in my head who keeps saying things like, "No, you'll die."
Oh, you grew a conscience. That's
No, that's not what happened.
His name is
assumed it
Shervin.
His name is Shervin, and I'm mad.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you
Padgett
just do
kinda
it.
just is like, you know
Yeah.
what? Nope.
You prove to be the every inch the pilot that you claim to be as you start just sort of making your way through these other ships. They react very similarly. You can like they like move out of the way very suddenly or start like flying with more agitation. As you sort of like pass their viewports, you can kind of see them like shaking their fists at you or doing less kind gestures out at you as you are doing so. Probably pretty safe to assume also that you are aware now that at least one of them is alerting to Kamagahara orbital defense
Yes.
because that is just what anyone who is not a criminal would do.
Yep.
And what are the odds that everybody in this shipping lane is a criminal?
You know.
like 60, 80%.
Yeah,
at
of
the
some kind.
most. At the most.
I am staying, so I'm trying to keep vehicles between us and them, but I'm also
Yes.
trying to stay as close to like the edge so that if I need to just veer out and cut and run, I'm ready to cut and run.
Okay.
But I don't want that to be the obvious thing that I'm doing. Like I don't want
Okay.
them to be able to look from where they're following and be like, "Oh, they're just going to leave the lane."
Mm-hmm.
I want it to make it appear as much as possible that I plan to stay right here and use these vehicles.
To like
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
slow them down.
And you've closed communications, so like all you really see is them like step on the gas and start flying even more dangerously than you already are or they were before. They're like cutting ships off now. You actually probably do see assuming you have like a back sort of like viewport open to view like what's happening behind you. You do see like one of them cuts in front of one ship that immediately like jerks to the side because it was super close, and like it does a full spin before it can right itself, and the front of that ship, like the nose, comes within like 10 feet of the ship that was right behind it and to the right. And, you know, a half second later, they would have collided, and that would have been really, really bad. But you see that happen, and right after that, you look away for a second, back to the controls, and when you look back, both of them are gone.
They're gone. It doesn't look like.
Ah, shit. Ellis immediately starts like scanning for anything coming from an odd angle on the lane, like from like above or below, as though they've dove out of the lane to try and hit us from a flanking position.
When I don't
Okay.
see them anymore, I will kind of revert almost back into like flying more normal in case, you know, actual like authorities come looking because people are reporting this poor flying. But
Yeah.
I'm still, again, I'm staying on that edge of like quick escape. But
Absolutely.
I've resumed my appearance of being a law-abiding citizen.
Yes. You y'all haven't upgraded to a sensor array yet, right?
I think we have one.
Yeah, I think so.
Do you have one? I thought I
think that
remembered
was
you
the thing
having
we
one.
did, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we do have the sensor array.
So somebody is gonna roll scope it out, and they're gonna have advantage because you're using your ship's systems to do it.
I mean, I assume it should be one of the people in the cockport.
Yeah, I think Ellis expressed a desire to scan.
I did.
Have at it, buddy.
I must scope it out.
Yes.
I'm not great at it. See how
You have advantage.
fair.
Do it to it, my guy.
All right. That is an 8.
8 will do it. It's good enough anyway. You get to ask one question, and there's a pretty obvious one.
I just wanted to make sure that I understood the sensor array. Oh, I also get to ask some others. But yeah, that doesn't make much sense. Yeah, what's my enemy's true position? Where
Yes.
are they at?
Where them bitches
Okay.
at?
So where they are at is they have apparently engaged some kind of incredibly advanced cloaking technology, unlike anything you've ever seen. And you can
Rad.
find them on your sensor array because Maeve took the time to upgrade it.
Cool.
But you can
Sure
sort
about
of sense that they have broken with the flow of the traffic lane and basically just like spread out to either side in an
Okay.
effort to catch up to you.
Would you say they're mechanically within 20 kilometers?
I would say that if you'd like them to be, you can wait for them to reach that distance.
So I have a
because they
fun
are-
idea.
They are
we
attempting
should
to
run
close
away.
on you.
We should
No,
run away.
I have a fun idea.
Do not throw a missile at them.
I'm not.
What's
My
it?
idea is to tether one of them and whip them into the other one.
Okay, never mind.
Which I explained to Padgett.
That
Padgett's
sounds
just
dope.
like,
So
yeah,
we
okay.
wait for him to get close, and then I fire the tether, and I hit one of them, and then you shift the vector fast enough, and we use them like a bolo to smack the other one.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to start to drop towards the bottom part of the lane. No, where would be better?
Yeah, you take the fight where you want it. And Ellis
Yeah.
will like position the arms so he looks like they're just like riding, but then prepares to shoot tether at sensor signal.
So you explain that, she's like, oh, that does sound cool. Okay, and then she says, and she's
Yes.
like, okay, yeah, all right.
Immediate pilot points from Ellis.
And then
that sounds cool. Yeah.
She's like, yeah, that does sound cool. I'm going to go. I think it would actually be better to do it up at the top so that we fling them out away, and there's no chance of it going up and into. Because, like I said, I specified that we should not be doing terrorism,
Right.
so we don't want the parts to
This
go
is
up into the rest of the. But
Right.
what I'm saying is, when we bolo
Right.
them, I want them to bolo
Right.
up and out away from the lane.
Yes.
So we will not be doing a terrorism. So I'm going to start driving again up so that I'm at the top, and I will now make it look like deliberately like I am planning on like up and out.
Okay.
So because they are watching, so I'm going up.
Yes.
Like I'm like up.
Okay. You fly up to sort of indicate that you are leaving the lane. And Ellis, you see on the scanners, or the sensors of the ship rather, that they speed up. They quicken their approach and start to converge on you, thinking that like
Good. Add
you are trying to
acceleration to
leave
it.
behind.
Yeah, we want some velocity to this.
And one of them comes within range. Absolutely. So the way that you're describing it, I assume, because basically what's happening is like you are traveling along with these other ships, leaving Takamagahara 2 behind. So Takamagahara 2 is on your left, essentially.
Okay.
And then it is open space out on your right. And one of them is approaching from the left, so sort of like hugging close to Takamagahara 2 to try to surprise you. The other one is coming
Then
in from the
that's
right,
the one
open
I'm
space.
gonna want to hit with the tether,
Right.
and
Yep.
then whip it into the right one.
This is
I
gonna
figured we were
be
headed directly away, but yeah, we definitely don't want to whip both of the auditors
right.
into Taka Station. That would
Right.
be a space terrorism.
And we don't want to do that.
And we
Don't
do space terrorism.
Very good.
That's
very
right. We just do murders. Anyway.
And corporate espionage. But
hey,
that's
Let's
hey,
fine.
go.
Self-defense.
That's a 10. That's a firefight where I get what I want.
Good. That's true.
You know what? I'm not going to take any of these choices because you know what I'm trying to do. So, like, I'm going to say that we're going to do the thing where we suffer less harm than usual, and then we're
That's
going to do all the positional stuff wherein I want to, like, actually be able to, I guess, halt and advance and force my enemy out of cover makes the most sense as, like, a explanation. Okay, those things. Yeah.
Yes, I think that's totally fair. What I am gonna need from Paget to tie all this together is the bolo aspect
Yeah.
of this ridiculous thing. And I think
How do we? Yeah.
this is gonna be actually keep your cool. Because your reflexes are not going to make it possible for you to do this. This is going to be you trying to remain calm and like overcome this insane situation that you've put yourself in. So that's going to be with Stalwart.
Okay.
I think you have a move that might come into play, but I'm not sure.
Let me double check.
That's a valid question about whether or not that is a hard and fast rule.
We've generally shied away from terrorism.
Well, yeah. Yeah, that's true. If you don't consider corporate espionage terrorism, which I don't.
Espionage is not terrorism.
We're terrorizing a
true.
corporation. That's
No,
fucking-
that's just good citizenship.
Hey,
Exactly.
corporations are people.
Well,
I'll believe that when Texas executes one.
then they deserve to be bullied.
Gotta
So-
shove that corporation in a locker for its lunch
That's
money.
right.
Uh-huh.
Bunch of nerds.
Speaking as both a person and a corporation,
Yeah.
no.
So
Corporations
are
are
nerds.
nerds.
So to make sense of the adrenaline rush move, do I roll that? So is that a move I roll before I roll the actual move? Is that
Oh,
the way that's
man.
explained?
Yeah, I forgot you took that. Give me.
Is that not
One
the move you
second.
wanted me to take?
Complexities.
That's a good move, and I'm glad you took it.
Well, no, I meant, is that not the move you want me to use right now?
Oh, I didn't remember because I know you have crack pilot, but I guess that only
Yes.
comes into play when you're like avoiding danger.
Yeah.
So with adrenaline rush,
Who has adrenaline rush?
Me.
Paget.
Oh, it's a
does.
warhorse move.
It
Oh, fuck
sure
yeah.
is.
Oh wow. Okay, yeah. So you have to so I think if you get it, it's gonna replace keep your cool. Because
Yeah.
I assume you're gonna pick the option of perform an incredible athletic feat.
Yes.
So you're just gonna roll stalwart again. Like roll stalwart, but instead of it being for keep your cool, it's for adrenaline rush.
is anyone opposed to me using that advantage for this, or do we want to save that for later in this game?
Nah, burn it. Bolo these
Nah.
motherfuckers. Let's go.
All right. So I will.
Easy come,
Consider
easy
it your
go.
welcoming gift to Nephilim game.
Yeah.
Yay! Okay, so
Nice.
So that is going to be 9 plus 1 for my regular. So that's going to be a 10, which means that
That's what you want.
on a 10 or plus, hold 2.
Yeah.
So I can. So does that mean I can do 2 of these 3 things?
Yes, you get to pick 2 of them.
Cool. I'm going to perform the incredible athletic feat and ignore any negative effects or modifiers caused by harm.
Boy. Okay. Well, so here's the thing. You don't have any harm.
Okay.
So you don't need
But
to
you
pick
could add
that
your
one.
volatile modifier to it. It's technically an attack.
So my
Can
thought
do.
was like to avoid having any parts of the ship that we destroy fly back into our ship was what my thought
Sure.
was.
I'll say that it's this. If you want to pick those 2, I'll interpret it this way because Ellis did decrease the harm by 1 from firefight. You would still take damage, but instead we're going to just like say you don't take any damage and also you do the thing.
Yes.
'Cause
Which
we
is a
both did
pretty
such a good job.
it's a pretty generous interpretation of that move because you kind of just picked like I do the thing and also nothing bad happens, which is like a little bit game breaking, but I think this is cool and you spent an advantage, so we're gonna roll with it for now. I reserve the right to do it differently in the future.
That is fine and fair.
Yes. So Ellis,
Yeah.
I mean, describe your part.
All
'Cause you
right, so
start this
yeah,
whole
because
thing.
Alice is the one with the quick shot, and like basically everything that Paget does is based off of Alice's go marker, which is I want to be clear because Alice is nothing if not a drama queen. That the ships get close enough for like Alice to see the shimmer of whatever the cloak thing is, and before firing the tether, he definitely reopens the comm channel and is like, "Watch this!" and slams one with the tether right in its like cockpit, if possible.
Yeah. So the tether is primarily like a scrapper tool. It lets you haul in junk and derelict spaceships so that it's easier for you to harvest stuff from it. In this particular case,
It is a barbed hook as well. We did describe it the last
Yes.
time, that it is meant for like piercing and grabbing hold of things.
we did. So you
Kill
fully
the
just
guy.
fire
Tether.
you fully just fire
they're
the
probably-
tether and it slams into the spaceship. Paget?
And then
So
she's all yours.
So what I like the most about this is that I think at this point the comms to the rest of the ship have definitely also closed because Paget hasn't been holding that button down, so this is just between the 2 of us at this point.
Yes.
So when the tether hits, Paget's going to do the tried and true Delaware tactic of brake checking, essentially. And so she's going to hit the brake hard and then accelerate very fast so that it just like jerks it like back and forth a little bit and then just immediately again brake check it so it goes flinging forward ahead of them.
And then
Okay.
as soon as it's like on angle towards the other ship, that's when the tether release is just cut to impart all that velocity
Yeah.
into ship
And
number
then
2.
as soon as it disconnects, she accelerates again up over, and at this point she's riding above the lane so that just
There's like I think there's a moment as the ship is coming around, the harpoon hits the hull of the ship, and almost instantly the panels that have been cloaking it start to fail and fade. So it becomes visible. You see the red body of that ship again. And then there's a moment, Paget, as you are like staring out of the view screen with these other ships, all of these other ships below you, and just like open space above you, and the light from the sun is just kind of cresting like over to Kamakahara from the other side of the planet. The ship sort of comes like swinging across your viewpoint, and you like take a breath because you're going to have to release the tether at like exactly the right moment for this to work. So you just sort of seeing it like coast across, everything slows down a little bit as the adrenaline surges through your body. And at the like exact moment that your like instinct kicks in, you slam down on the tether release, and then everything happens very quickly from that moment on. The ship just sort of like tumbles end over end, goes careening across your viewport slams into the invisible body of the other one, and they both just burst into debris and sparks, and yeah, they
I think
just
there's a
sort of
very
destroy each
Texas
other.
moment on the bridge as both of these idiots are. Yeah!
we are both from Texas. We are both just like
Right as one ship strikes the other ship, a couple bursts of light of laser fire actually shoots right across your bow, but because you did that brake check thing, you stop just shy of where you would have been, where they targeted you.
Just scratches the paint.
And then they are both just like, one ship slams into the other one, and they both just go tumbling out into space. Where, I mean, I guess you could pursue them if you want to.
no.
GTFO.
You don't pursue the cops after you get away from the cops. You just keep
Yeah.
getting away from the other cops.
Exactly.
I think shortly after that, like right as that happens, as you have your yeehaw moment there on the bridge, your comm channel does crackle to life, and you hear a male voice come over it and say, unidentified ship, this is Takamagahara Orbital Defense Force. You are ordered to return to dock. Repeat, you are ordered to return to dock.
Yeah, we ain't doing that. You're gonna like. I'm not saying this to them. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
we're going right. So, 'cause we
Padgett was
just did
like-
do what's called a big crime. That was a big crime we just did there.
Padgett was like, I assumed. And then she just accelerates. At this point, I'm above the lane, so I'm just going to stay and just.
Mm-hmm. And I think you could actually see some like small Takamagahara fighters are like starting to approach you from just outside of the shipping lane. So you can try to outrun them if you want to, which is going to be another act quick.
I think at this point, I don't really have much other choice. We got.
Yeah, we're not getting arrested.
So is
I
that?
have outstanding warrants on Taka too.
I was gonna say, you don't have any like goodwill. I look at all this. I'm like, I don't suppose you've got any like goodwill built up on Taka from like doing any of that.
I mean, kinda. I don't know if it's enough to get away with, vehicular manslaughter, but we can make a call.
It's up to you.
Jaxper
Otherwise-
sticks his head into the cockport. Who did you just manslaughter? What
Oh,
mans did you slaughter?
Padgett's gonna be like, did you not see us?
Did you not see that shit?
I did not see
Hell,
that shit. We did
that
not
was
have
the
our
coolest
cameras
fucking
on.
thing I've
I
done
just felt momentum fuck around.
Oh, we
so Ellis-
definitely killed those men. Okay.
Oh yeah, they're fucking dead. They're so dead. Oh man. Like I was like, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Hey, we didn't do terrorism. We do have to get away from Taka though, because people on that station definitely watched us kill those two. So do you think we could talk to our buddy into not doing a whole arrest thing, or do we need to still flee?
Well, they can't arrest you on Tranquility.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm planning on just rolling crack pilot again and leaving because
I was gonna actually engage our previously aforementioned stealth system if we can try and get into the lane.
Yeah,
we can do both.
Let's do both.
If you can activate your stealth thing before they get up here, I can just continue to bob and weave through traffic and just lay low, and then we can get where we're going.
I think Alice is gonna look at it and then legitimately like phone to Maeve and be like, Maeve, do you know how the silent running feature works on the ship?
I'm actually gonna say that that because it is such a sort of like pieced together subsystem, the silent running system can actually only be activated from the engine room.
Okay, that was like me in character trying to be like, I don't know that Ellis would know how to operate a stealth system. Like a tether and robot arms, sure, but like advanced technological things, even if I could roll slick well enough, I don't know that he knows what to do with that process.
So if he messages Maeve that way, she's just gonna be
Yeah.
like, "It's going that well, huh?"
Paget yells
Hey,
Paget yells over Ellis, and she goes, "This is exactly why I came to you guys. I don't know what you're talking about."
hey, listen, we got 2 of them, but Taka's got, a lot of
A lot more.
cops. So we gotta go.
We've still got some
So-
do them, so we might want to do
so
it
basically,
now.
we are now permanently in criminal status, is what you're telling me.
They
Awesome.
refer to us as unidentified, so as long as we
Right.
keep it that way.
Yeah.
All right. I'm hitting it now. Don't do anything to, be
Texas?
super obvious that we're there. It's just gonna help us if they don't know where to look, basically. So don't be obvious about the flying and the tethering and the
Got it.
No missiles. No
It's a
missiles, Ellis.
He's got
I heard you
missiles?
the first 3 times. It's a low baseball cap and an unidentifiable hoodie. Heard. All right.
I mean, like,
Okay.
Oh my god.
like as soon as we're like cloaked, I can just like shuffle on down so that instead of being above the lane, we are just now under the lane and just
Exactly.
Do we think one of those
if
transponder code things that we got off of Marcus will work on the Nephilim?
It sure should.
It should, yes.
It's entirely possible. But I think it all depends on how things go from here on out. So if you want to engage silent running, maybe you were going to roll with slick.
Be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Okay, so I have to roll with Slick, I assume, since
You
I'm the
do.
one doing the systeming,
You do.
to use the technical term.
Ellis tucks
Mhm.
away the arms to lower our profile and puts the 1 missile back into its box.
Hey, that's a
Jesus.
13!
The gods of
Slick
crime
as shit
are,
all
are
year.
in their favor.
Be gay, do
Um,
crime. That is the message I am taking
Hell
away
yes.
from
Hell
tonight's
yeah.
session.
Yes. Be gay, do crime.
yes.
Very good, very good. You rolled a 12.
Straight
So there are a lot of there's a lot of stuff that kicks on, which we will describe in greater detail. Paget, I need you to roll crack pilot, so roll with slick. And yes, Della, we will be breaking right after this.
So we only get one of the things. It's actually a pretty.
Yes.
So I think it would be
You move past hostile scans or searches without detection, you get the drop on an unsuspecting enemy, or you open up an opportunity to escape.
1 or 3, whichever makes more sense, I guess.
Yeah, whatever is.
Yeah, I would say that because Paget is rolling to escape, you'd probably want to go with the first one, because if Paget rolls well enough, then you don't have to worry about it.
Paget rolled an 11.
So, okay. So you activate, you like hit the button that activates the stealth system in the back there in the engine room. Right as Paget, you like these ships, all of these little sort of fighters are kind of like catching up to you, converging on you. You, I imagine, sort of barrel roll out of the way and then down under the flow of traffic where you are sort of safely able to reintegrate and merge with it. Right after that happens, the fighters sort of like follow you down. They're not quite as quick as you are because they still have to catch up with you a little bit. And then they just start like doing passes over the flow of the shipping lane, but like they don't seem to be able to pick you out among all of the other ships.
Become
Part
station
of what
wagon.
Yes, part of what the stealth does is it also like cuts off the comm line, and presumably it also makes it impossible for them to scan you. So you're sort of in the middle of doing silent running as you are sort of also not even registering on their instruments. So periodically, as you just sort of continue on with this flow of Takamagahara to traffic, you do see these fighters sort of strafing back and forth over top and like underneath. But you don't receive another communication from them, and they don't seem to stop to pursue you. And before you know it, you funnel along with everybody else out into open space and
Woo.
on your way to the moon,
Paget
to
just,
tranquility.
smiles over at Ellis, and she's like, "Aren't you glad you picked me?"
Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, Jaxper's gonna look over at Maeve. They've been in like the engine room, sort of doing their usual thing, which is Jaxper does whatever Maeve tells him to do.
Lever
And-
that more.
Yeah, and sort of like looks up and is like, all right, she's a hell of a good pilot. Yeah,
And on
now
that note,
Della Collins has to go engage.
yes.
parents.
On that note, we're gonna take about a 15-minute break while Della goes and sings her small child goodnight. And then we will meet back here in 15 minutes. Don't go anywhere. We will be back as soon as possible. See y'all soon.
Yeah, just
had
fucking
fun.
grip it and rip it, baby.
Look at that timing.
Slop that down, dude. Shit, yeah, dude. Crack one for the
Time
big
that
boy.
Get it? Go.
Thank you so much for your donation, Della Collins, whoever you might be. We really appreciate it. Unfortunately, you were at -1 advantage, so that's just going to bring you back up to 0.
How
Sorry.
were we at -1
I
advantage?
must have like bumped a button or something. It's fine. You're at 1. Congratulations. Yes. Okay, cool. We are back, everybody. Thanks for sticking around. We are gonna get right back into more Nephilim. So you managed to avoid presumably more of the more auditors from the Earth Party or Earth Party Coalition. And now you are able to exit out of the traffic lanes of Takamagahara 2 into open space where you
Woohoo!
can begin the several day journey out to Tranquility,
Woo.
Earth's moon. So along the way, basically you have about 3 days. Anything you want to do with it?
Paget is just like vibrating with glee. She-
Yeah, I mean the immediate thing obviously is just that was the most insane thing. One of the most insane things any of you have ever seen. I guess only
Yeah, only
Paget
two of
and
us got
Ellis.
to. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I mean Ellis like recently had a shootout with a soldier in the middle of like
Yep.
an open square, and then shortly thereafter fought a giant robot lady with burning hot hands and a priest with metal robotic wings.
Mhm.
So
That did happen. Yep.
not sure that's the most. I'm not sure that's the craziest thing Ellis has ever seen, but Paget, yeah, probably.
that is the most insane thing I have ever lived through. I am absolutely giddy with all of the
I think
choices
Ellis like
that have led
takes
me
the
here.
the comms also. It's like, all right, that was amazing. You did great work. You also look like you're about to actually shudder apart at the seams there. So why don't you take a lap? Maybe get you a soda or something. Because I'm pretty sure you're about to start breaking, speed limits and things. So
That was
You did great.
so good.
it was real
so
cool.
good.
That was crazy.
That was better than anything I could have asked for.
Yeah, adrenaline's great. Also, it will potentially kill you. So let's run that energy off real quick. Just maybe go,
Yeah, sure.
back to the ship, say hi to Jax, come back.
Oh, I'm gonna go tell him what we did.
Yeah, no, in explicit detail. Yeah, that's a good call.
I'm gonna set up the auto functions for this safe part of the trip, and then just
Yes.
And Ellis will stay in the cockpit to keep an eye on things. Yeah, after
Okay.
seeing her like literally like vibrate in excitement, like, all right, maybe not time to be holding a stick. All right, let's.
Yeah, not a lot of damage that she could do at this stage of the journey, but better safe than sorry. Okay, Paget, you go back to the galley, which is directly behind the cockport, and I imagine encounter Jaxper and maybe Maeve emerging out of the engine room. Maeve, are you like sticking around to, check on things, or like you didn't take a hit during that, so.
Yeah, I think Maeve would just give like a once over once she turns off the secret running, the silent running feature.
Mhm.
Just to like give it a quick check, make sure it all looks like it's still in place.
Yeah, just to keep the spirit of the Nephilim alive, I think I'm going to say that the silent running features of this ship they don't turn off so much as they eventually fail. And then like you know it's a fairly quick fix to get them back up and running again. But like yeah, they basically just like burn themselves out after a certain amount of time. There's no timer. It just happens after a little while.
There's no timer, but you can set your watch by it.
Mm-hmm. So but yeah, once you do that, like you know it like short circuits a couple times, and then the the other functions of the ship that were being suppressed come back online, and the rest of the ship seems like it's in good shape. You don't know exactly what happened out there, except that it was concerning, but you definitely didn't get hit, so that's good.
Yeah, gonna have to have a talk with Ellis to find out just how much trouble we're in, but
Substantial.
Yeah, Paget like swans into the galley and sees Jaxper, and she's just like, "That was great."
What did you do?
Oh,
Again, I repeat myself. Which mans did you slaughter?
oh, those like I don't know if they yeah. Okay, so like I don't know if they were auditors in the ship. I can only assume, but like whoever was coming after you guys for killing those other auditors, so they're taken
Auditors
care
need
of.
to stop coming at us and forcing us to defend ourselves.
Yeah, so they're gone. That was great. That was
Yeah.
absolutely stunning. The sun was in the perfect position. It was art. It was truly art. Like I knew when you got out here that you can't actually see the stars because of the whole like the science of it. Like you can't actually see the stars when you're traveling through space. Like I got that, but that was finer art than anything I've ever seen in my life.
Like I heard Creed, like Take Me Higher was playing.
Like in all of the best moments of your life, right? When it just cuts in.
It
Like-
sounds awesome as hell. Did you get footage of it? Did you were any of the hull cams on?
I assume they were. I mean, like I had all the like standard features running. Like I started it all up. Like I checked, like some standard features of the ship. So I assume you're recording. You're recording as long as you guys have like memory space. I don't know what that business is. That's on y'all. But oh my god, it was beautiful.
Oh fuck yeah! We'll see if we can pull some of that footage. Set it some music.
Yeah, the Nephilim no longer has any issues with storage space since that secret drive got stolen from under you.
Yeah, I'm mad
So-
about that. Mad.
why you gotta be like that?
So mad.
You know, there's a lot of room now on that hard drive.
I'm just saying.
Thanks.
I'm just like, oh,
Well, that's really fucking cool. That's really cool. And Jaxper is looking kind of actually kind of grumpy right now.
Paget will kind of like look him over for a minute and then be like, "Did everything go okay in the back? You didn't hit your head or anything?"
No, it's fucking fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Is it fine?
Yeah.
You know?
Is it fine?
No, it's deeply unfine. But you know what? The world is gonna keep on fucking spinning. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna go fucking meditate or some shit. That's what fucking nerds do, right? They fucking meditate or some shit.
You can meditate if you want to. I've got some books you can read on my pad if you want to read some books.
I'll read a fucking book. Nerds read books. Shervin fucking reads books.
I'm basically a
nerds.
corporation at this point.
I'm
You
a
want to read Cymbeline? I've got Cymbeline here.
I'll fucking read Cymbeline. Gonna fucking go. It's like snatches the book and just like, I'm gonna fucking read Cymbeline.
It's a play. Have fun.
Cool.
It's a great one. He does not make.
He just stomps back to his room. All
I think that's the moment when
pissed
like
off.
Maeve is emerging from the engine room and like passes Jaxper and just like gets to Paget and it's just like, what's wrong with him?
I don't know. If I had to guess, because I don't know him very well, I think maybe either he's having some kind of a crisis or maybe he felt left out. I can't really gauge.
Either of those is possible, actually. So
like, I think it'll be fine.
yeah, either way, it sounds like he just needs to go brood for a while. So he'll probably be back later.
Lincoln Park's crawling in my place.
Nothing like a good
from
brooding.
Jaxper's room.
There it is. There it is.
Just that peak teenage angst.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I think it'll be fine. I gave him Cymbeline, so like,
Yeah.
And he was interested in that?
I don't think he knows what it is, so I think it's fine.
That
He'll be
tracks.
interested once he starts it. It's an utterly baffling time. So like, it's not like he won't have a good time. He might have a confusing time, but I think it'll be fine.
I'm not here to have a good time. I'm here to have a strange time.
I mean, to be fair, that is literally what Paget said when she got on the ship.
That is true. Okay, cool. Jaxper broods a bit. Maeve, the ship for once after an altercation seems like it's in pretty good shape, and it doesn't actually need you to do any sort of like emergency repairs or like spot work or anything like that. Kind of nice.
What do you know?
What do you know? And I imagine, at least for like the first day, it's pretty quiet on the Nephilim. Are you like going out of your way, Paget, to talk to anybody, get to know anybody, anything like that?
I think Paget will, for the most part, she kind of spends a lot of time in the cockport because this is like easily like the most exciting thing that's ever happened to her. This is like for once getting what she really wanted. But she will spend some time talking with the crew, more in a sense of like she wants to hear more about like what's happened to them, because again, she picked them because of the what she saw in person and on the newsreel. So she wants to know more about like how they got to that point. So she will, in kind of this fashion that she's been doing the whole time, she was gonna ask them about it, but she's not going to be extremely direct. It's gonna be more of a so, and like maybe it'll be like a little bit of an anecdotal thing and then it'll be a question. So she's trying to be very, very casual about it to try to like keep everyone in like this mellow spirit. She wants to know, but she definitely has picked up on the fact that like if she goes about things too directly, people are gonna close up.
Which I think sort of begs the question: how open are you all being?
I mean, Ellis has never hidden anything from people on the ship. Like, once you're on the ship, it's just like, well, I mean, you could kill me in my sleep, so here you go.
There being a time when Maeve wasn't allowed to know anything about what y'all were getting up to on the ship.
That's different. You hadn't seen a man die. That's not about not telling you things about my life. That's about not traumatizing people. Now that you're already traumatized, it's less important.
The second trauma is easier.
Yeah, you start getting used to them.
You never forget your
As
first
a,
time.
as a licensed mental health professional, I am going to say that is not true.
Absolutely not true. 100% false.
That is
Wildly inaccurate.
Wildly inaccurate. Not
And
the case.
definitely reflects someone of Ellis's composition's interpretation of it, though. But yeah, so Ellis is very upfront about things. Like, if asked, he's not one to, ramble on about the horrors of his past specifically.
Well,
He's more into pleasant anecdotes, but
Yeah,
also has no qualms about it.
she definitely wants to hear more like kind of exciting like adventure stories than like the gritty like secrets of your life.
Right.
So like she's not prying in a sense that's like
Yeah, and he's got plenty of those. So you're getting like 75% truth, which is a pretty decent percentage, you know.
That's
true.
kind of fun for her.
I think when you catch Jaxper at like a moment where he's in kind of a good mood, he like happily talks about all of the stuff. But if he's in a like he's happy to talk about various adventures and stuff like that, like adventure stories. But there always comes a point where he gets mad and stops. And it has nothing, and you've kind of figured out that it has nothing to do with anything that you say. He's just hitting a point where he's going through a crisis. You've figured out that he is in fact going through a crisis.
I correctly identified this emotion.
Yes.
So, one question that we definitely have to address is: are you contacting the good doctor? Are you letting him know that you are on your way to tranquility?
I think Jaxper at some point does. Probably after one of those things. Like I think that's his reckless action. Or like he's just constantly building up storm in his own head and like has been like just being a kind of an asshole to everybody. So finally he's just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna call this guy.
Okay. So because you are now traveling through space, through deep space, you only have the link available to you, which basically means that you have to sort of send like video, like recorded video or audio, and then wait for a reply. You know, if you were talking to another ship that was in the vicinity, your ships could link directly to each other. But since he's on Tranquility and you're in the middle of space, it's basically going to be like it's almost like writing letters back and forth. You're going to send him a recording, he's going to send you a recording, presumably. So Jaxper, you're the one sending the first one. What do you say?
I think the camera at first, there's probably a solid like 30 seconds of silence where Jaxper's just not looking at the camera. And it's just sort of like sitting there like messing with something off screen. And then if you are who you say you are, then everything I am is really your fault. And I don't know why, knowing that you would be looking for me personally. Don't know where you found this name. Don't know any of that. But what I want you to know is that if this becomes more than just a conversation, I'm not going to let you hurt any of the people I'm with. Not for a second. If you fucking think you can, this is some kind of fucking trick or some kind of ploy, it's just not going to end well for you. Now, I suppose it's possible that you're being earnest here, that you're being honest, and you're not looking to fuck us over. But if you are, I want you to know that that ends very poorly for the both of us. Do not fuck with me. He sends the message.
All right. Yeah, fair enough. You send that off. The next communication that you do receive, actually, actually not from the good doctor, as you might have anticipated. The next communication that you receive as it sort of like chimes through to your handheld, presumably all of your handhelds, although I doubt you all pay super close attention to it, but Maeve, you receive one over the link from Hugo over the like on the second day of the journey.
Oh, good. Let's see what Hugo, our contact with the Union, who we owe lots of
Mhm.
money to, has to say.
Mm-hmm.
We paid him off this time.
We did, and then we did crime.
He
we were
doesn't know that it was
unidentified.
us that did crime.
They specifically said unidentified
Right.
vessel.
We'll
Right.
find out. We'll find out after we hear what Hugo has to say.
Yeah.
I'm not in
Yeah.
the union. I don't really have a say, but I'm
Aw,
pretty
crap, we hired a non-union driver. Ah, fuck.
Oh shit.
He's gonna be pissed.
We gotta
I
get her in
told
the
you-
union as quickly as possible.
I told you I was
Shit.
in a gang. I wasn't part
This
of
is
a
a bigger
union.
deal than the
I
auditors. You don't
told you
understand.
that.
We're boned.
We're not boned. This will be fine. We'll get
Just-
you membership.
Where's the paperwork? Do you have a handout? I can fill out paperwork right now.
All right, we gotta get her signed up right now. We gotta get a licensure. She's gotta have a stamp. We gotta get it.
I told you.
Name
I
and
told you
address.
when I got here I was
I don't
part
know
of a
how
gang.
I forgot this. Why did we allow this to happen?
Just
Hugo's gonna be
just get her the
furious.
paper. Just get her the paper.
We're gonna start it right now. All right, somebody answer the
Jesus.
phone. Go fuck
It's not the
Wow.
phone, it's a voicemail.
Yeah,
Basically.
it's video mail, and as you review it, Maeve, it clicks on and you see Hugo. Normally when you've received these communications from Hugo while you're traveling, he's like behind his desk, and he's talking into the unit that's attached to that. But this time, when you open the video to play it, Hugo, you don't even see him at first because it's very dark, and then you like realize that it is Hugo, but wherever he is very dark, and he is talking very quietly and says look, Maeve, I don't have a lot of time to record this, okay, but look, I don't know exactly what you all did on your way out, on your way away, but it's bad, Maeve. It's bad. The party is after you by name. Like they named you. They named the ship. And you're wanted. The Union, I mean, there's not much we can do. Obviously, your membership stands. You're still part of it. There's no way, there's no process in which the party, putting out a call for your arrest is going to impact your union membership, but there's not a lot that we can do, that I can do. Okay? You can't come back to Earth, Maeve. And I don't know if they're hiring specialists or bounty hunters, but they're sure gonna send auditors after you. So I don't know where you're going, but I hope it's someplace where they can't reach you. And as a matter of fact, don't tell me where you're going, because then I'm liable, and I will sing like a canary, Maeve. Don't tell me. I am not a strong man. But look, all right, just be smart. Hopefully this all is a misunderstanding or something, but like you can tell he doesn't really believe that, even as he's saying it. He says, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Maeve. I'm sorry. There's not more that I can do. Just be safe. And then the message ends.
She's gonna sort of send a comm through the ship and be like, hey, we need a crew meeting. Everybody get in the kitchen.
Padge is like, oh boy, my first crew meeting.
I just think this is great.
Yeah, you assemble presumably shortly thereafter in the galley.
And Maven's gonna start by like bringing them up to speed, being like, hey, Hugo reached out. Yeah, we're fucked. They know it's us, and they've got at least me. I assume you two as well, since you're registered as part of the ship, and they know it's the ship. But we're wanted, and if we go back to Earth, we're done. And they're probably not going to wait for us to go back to Earth to keep trying to find us.
So we're going to use one of them transponder code doodads on the ship.
Yeah, need to do that. But secondly, also, so wait, was it everyone who was a member of the ship when that happened? Because we gotta warn Arata, and he's still on Earth.
Arata's
any way we can.
Arata's is still protected by Taka. Like, they're not gonna fuck. Right, they're not gonna fuck with him, because fucking with him would mean fucking with Taka. Like that's just straight up enemy action. Like auditors fighting. You know, auditors fighting Shinshoku is just a thing.
Yeah, it's a bad call. It's just.
Well, you know what? Maybe they shouldn't have fucking jumped us in a dark fucking alley, is all I'm saying.
Didn't you guys say in one of your, I think, Ellis, in one of your stories, you called him by a different name? So, like, is he even actually registered to the ship?
That's a fair point. He'd have been registered as... Yeah. No, it's... Yeah. Layers on mystery there, so...
One slight thing I will say, though, which some of you might realize, Jaxper, this might even occur to you as you're saying it out loud. The aftermath of that time when you killed those auditors, Karis at the time, told you that it wasn't going to be an issue anymore. And in hindsight, safe to assume that was because of his connections to Takamagahara. This new development of the auditors actually coming after you would seem to imply that perhaps your protection from the Shinshoku has run out.
Expired.
Yes.
Look, if worse comes to worse, here's what happens. I will tell you what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Presumably, they found us because the auditors sent back some kind of video feed or some kind of report. The only person who actively attacked auditors was me. And now you two, but...
I was going to say, no, I mean, we killed 2 of them now, so...
So you pin it on me.
Uh-huh.
I'll go answer for my crimes, probably bust out of jail and do some other stupid nano bullshit. You know what I'm
like. I don't, but I trust you.
If they catch up with us, throw me to the wolves. You guys go find Grace. I will do my stupid ass thing. I will be your ablative armor for these dumb motherfuckers.
I mean,
Or we just
If they catch up with us, plan A is don't let them catch us. I'm just saying,
Right,
plan
I was
B
gonna say.
is huck Jaxper out an airlock, preferably with a thing on. But
yeah,
you know,
right.
but plan A is stay ahead of them.
I mean, I can get
Right.
behind Plan A. That's fine.
I like Plan A. Yeah, let's stick to
Yeah,
Plan
but-
A.
How long can we stick to plan A? I mean,
Until
This
plan Q becomes
problem isn't going away. The auditors aren't gonna have a, you know,
we can all just go back to Earth
time
and stand trial
expired.
if you really want.
Or, you do what you do, and you disappear somewhere. I mean,
Yeah, you
that's kind of
disappear.
what 3 of us on the ship, well, 4 if you count Grace, had been doing in the first place. Is,
Yeah. You get a new name, you get a new transponder code on the ship, get some mild
Fresh
minor
paint, grow a
cosmetic
beard,
surgery. You
get
know,
glasses.
Name the-
electric
Okay,
glasses.
Change the name of the ship at some point, I guess.
Yeah.
Just going out on a limb, do you really think I'm the sort of person who's gonna successfully disappear?
I
Well,
mean, you come from Mars, so
yeah,
yes,
your parents are absolutely the kind of people who can help you just disappear. Like,
right.
You
Like,
kind
your
of don't
whole
even exist
town
already.
is-
yeah,
You don't even have a social security number, Maeve. Do you even pay union dues?
through
I
the
mean,
ship.
Yeah.
Right, but just to like Maeve Delaney. No, nothing else, right? So yeah, out of all of us, yeah, yours is probably the easiest to disappear.
Yeah, just say, oh, my name is, I don't know,
Carl.
Aim Ladaney. And
Right,
now
exactly. Yeah,
I'm
boom. Gone.
gone.
Ghost in the wind.
I'm Ghost in the Wind. I'm a
Yeah,
mechanic.
I
on a
feel like I
different
would
part
be
of
about that
Mars.
smooth at attempts to disappear and become a different person.
Well, we
Well,
can
the
work on
handy thing
that.
is you don't have to like lie to people's faces about this shit. That's why you work on, a scrapper ship in space
Look.
with 4 other people who don't ask you questions.
Like, look,
Again.
it's
Sorry. Go
we've
ahead.
got time to workshop it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You
chat
know,
it out. Figure it
Again,
out.
again,
All
it's
right,
important to
well-
value honesty because you gotta know how to value honesty so that you can use it against honest people. Because you know what, you're gonna have to lie to somebody eventually, Maeve.
I don't do well with that.
I can help teach you. I've been lying since I got here. You can.
To take a bit of a problem with that.
Oh,
Yeah, what?
I'll tell you because I've been dying to tell one of you. It just hasn't been convenient to come up. I've never flown a ship like this before.
You
I
are
got the
shitting
feeling-
me. You are
No, like I kind
absolutely
of asked
shitting
them that.
me.
Yeah, I
That
kinda,
is
yeah.
hilarious.
I kind of asked them that. They said a vehicle, but I was gonna let that slide. I didn't know if we were gonna
Oh
blow that
man,
can of
this
worms
feels
open.
great to say. Yeah, no, Maeve, we can definitely workshop a new storyline for you. It'll be fine. I have never broken Earth atmosphere a day in my
So
life.
there's some simulators on the bridge that we're gonna want to go over because the flying
I've done
away part's
simulators.
easy. The landing part is actually where shit gets real tricky. So
I mean, I
we're
can
gonna want to.
land.
I've
I've
No,
landed.
I
I've stolen
believe
ships like this. I've just never
Uh-huh.
left the atmosphere before. I
Right,
can
sure.
land a ship.
Okay. Either way, there's a couple, TED Talks we're gonna want to take a look at. Maybe.
I mean,
go
if
through
that'll
some
make you feel better.
CBTs.
If that'll make you feel better, absolutely. But like I
think-
said, the
yeah,
important
part-
thing.
Make us all feel very
Yeah, as part of your union integration, yeah, I think it's probably a good idea to get your
So it's like
CDL and your forklift certification.
Oh yeah, because that is one of the things Hugo said is we are still union members.
yeah.
Well,
So
that's
like
good at least.
Maeve, I want to say a thing. I want to say a thing, and it's gonna be maybe sound like a dumb thing, but
Most things you say do. Continue.
100%. So what you're gonna have to get used to now, and we haven't gotten a chance to like really talk about this because we've been doing it too much, is the not even the 80% solution, but like the 30% solution. Because at this point, there is no solutions. There are no solutions. There's nothing 100%. We are never going to get to 100% sure, and we never were. The second they took Grace off this ship, we were at, I don't know, plans that were going to be, 20 to 60% good.
Is this a pep talk? I don't.
This is a come to Jesus.
He's doing good. Let him do it.
This is a
All
come
right.
to Jesus. This is not a pep talk. No. This is, you have to understand, this is what Ellis and I were both maybe stupidly trying to protect you from initially, is the fact that there is no surety anymore. There is
Yeah.
none. You
We're in the
will
terrifying
never be
unknown.
certain again.
Yeah,
And-
space is big and scary, and we are likely to die.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's that. That is the one certainty, is that we all probably will die one day. But the
Guaranteed.
the fact is,
I mean, dude, you've done it already.
okay, well, I've died a lot, but don't worry about that right now. That doesn't matter. If you're looking for us to come up with a solution that is going to make find Grace, make the auditors go away, and get everybody back to Mars and keep you flying and keep you in a ship, and that you never has to get shot at ever again, that plan doesn't exist. We don't know, or if it does, we don't know what the fuck it is. And if we do find it, it's because we have tripped over it. So that's the truth.
Great.
Good talk.
Good talk.
Don't you feel better now?
I think I'm
Yeah.
gonna go to the engine room and cry for a bit. Don't come looking for me.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, have fun.
That went definitely as best as it possibly could have.
Yeah, she didn't hit me. I
That's-
was really expecting her to hit me with something.
I also did anticipate you were going to get hit. Yes.
I was fully anticipating a wrench.
She usually use a wrench.
That's my
exciting.
killing wrench.
She's got a good one.
She's
Yeah,
got a good-
she's got a mean right wrench.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, do not fight. Do not fight her.
This has been an exciting time for all of us, I think.
Yeah, Maeve getting that giant
Growing,
wrench
we're
sort of like
changing.
the giant wrench acquisition on Maeve's behalf kind of like heralded this game's descent into anime bullshit. It's
I don't
just been
know.
downhill ever since.
I don't know.
I
We
jumped
we
in, like-
started
in, like,
pretty
the
Outlaw
third-
Star.
In the third session, I jumped down a cliff and used a knife to slow my descent. So
That's true. You did do that.
we've
And then got shot to death,
I did.
and then through the power of boners stood back up. So
I did. That did happen.
I'm sorry. Was it the?
I don't know. Whatever
I
Jackson
ran
uses
this-
to inspire himself.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Yeah.
I see. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah.
I had
So
the power of God and anime on my
you
side.
do. You didn't get to use it during that ship fight, unfortunately.
No, I'm sorry to take that from you.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay. Cool.
The chat would like
so-
clarification of what the powers you have on your side.
It's either the power of boners or the power of God and anime. Those are the options. That's the name of my railgun.
Got an
Boners?
anime?
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
Actually, yes.
Yes. That is the name of my railgun. Is God and anime.
It's not really like a which is stronger. It's like a rock paper scissors situation between God, anime, and boners. Like one defeats the other, defeats the
Mhm.
other, defeats the
Mhm.
other. It's a
Mhm.
stalemate.
Yeah.
Which
It's
defeats
It's a
So-
secret which is which. No, it's a secret.
That's
Can't talk
a
about this.
secret. That's a secret.
Arcane-
we gotta
arcane
keep
rights.
going because we have already
Yeah.
we have already started. Terrible things are happening in my skull.
Someone donates
We are,
$100. We will be forced to figure it out. But
Yes,
until that
if you
happens,
want to, if somebody wants to donate $50, we will
We
explain
will
the
hash it out
rules
on stream.
of-
We will
of
engage
God,
in that.
anime, and
yeah.
boners.
Why is our price going down?
I don't know. I
not
stated
a
a price. I'm
negotiation.
not,
Who stated?
I stated $100.
Julia said $100.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Yeah, her price, $100.
I said
Yeah.
$100 for Planned Parenthood. We will figure this out.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, we are playing Powered by the Apocalypse, so we're playing to find out what happens. We don't know which one wins,
Right.
but we
Yeah.
will hash it out if you donate $100 to Planned Parenthood. Anyway, so
Paget will
on-
go dutifully watch her landing TED Talks just to make them feel better. She's confident in herself.
There's
But
also
sure.
like a really cheesy CBT with like a clippy, like a spaceship clippy. It's so
I-
you
I
want to
do like
land a
that-
spaceship?
She's like, I think
I
I've
do
watched
like that. I do like that Ellis is like only retentive about one thing, and it's like a union union paperwork.
Oh, absolutely.
Um,
Alice got burned once and never again.
Mhm.
Ellis like slams a piece of paper down in front of Paget and like leans down, looks her in the eyes, and says, "You're gonna record every single CEU you get on this ship. You hear me?
I
You're
swear,
gonna
I
record
swear to
every
God,
single
you work
one."
1 hour of unnotified overtime. I will come for you harder than a bull in a storm.
Ellis, I'm getting paid for this?
Yeah.
Oh shit, cool.
Is true.
This is
you
a
did not.
job you can do for money?
Oh shit, man. My dad's gonna be simultaneously thrilled and furious.
I'm
That's true.
gainfully
Well-
employed. This is the weirdest month of my life.
I'm
I mean,
doing
also just
I'm flying ships like my dad, but I'm flying ships the way he told me never to fly ships. Excellent.
I mean, also just keep in mind that like if you are wanted by the party, it is entirely definitely true that your like images have been put up all over the place, and everyone on Earth who ever loved or knew you is now aware of you being wanted by the party.
Cool.
So Paget fills out this paperwork and gets to the part. She's like, do I have to declare that I'm on this ship? Can we hold that off until I actually like get seen by somebody?
I mean, we could probably try and keep it just within the union, or maybe file locally and then backdate your employment. I don't know. I'll
We don't
talk to
have to
HR. We'll
backdate.
figure
Hey,
it out.
Ellis, why don't you just look on the bounty hunter boards and see what's up there about us?
Oh, that's a good call. Ellis immediately
Be your
Googles himself.
job.
Look,
Ellis immediately.
He doesn't have time for bounty hunting. He's got to make sure the union paperwork is done.
That's true.
Man's got priorities.
The Scrappers Union is his job. Bounty hunting is his hobby.
That's right.
Ellis has an excellent work-life balance.
I'm just saying, as someone who was a Jovian Pinkerton for years, Ellis swapped the exact opposite side and is now a very strong union man.
fair.
Chinkerton?
Pinkerton.
No,
yeah,
Jovian
she's trying to do a
Pinkerton?
Jovian Pinkerton thing.
Chinkerton?
Jinkerton.
Jokerton?
Mm, we do live in a
Joke?
society.
A
We
huge
do
joke
live in a society.
to be laughed?
We technically
Yes, the Pinkertons. Yes, a huge joke. Yes.
technically live in a society. Nephilim.
Heard about that.
Uh,
I've heard tell about that.
so
All right, hold on, let me roll
yes.
volatile to search the bounty boards as we do. I have to look up
You
one of my
can.
player moves again.
Yeah, I don't. Well, so I don't think it would necessarily be that, because you're not like looking for a mark. You're just kind of doing research on yourself.
Sure. Oh no, I did well.
okay.
We got a 10.
Yeah, you rolled it. I'll let it ride. You can look
I don't
each
need
of
any of the
each of
choices,
your
just-
yeah, you can look up each of your fellows. You do find yourself on there. You find Jaxper Sim on there. You find Jaxper Sim with 2 aliases. You don't know how many aliases Jaxper has had, but you find Jaxper Sim and then 2 other aliases alongside it. You do find
Which ones?
I mean, I don't know what we didn't sit
Oh,
down
okay.
and map out what all
Well,
of
I
your
found
aliases
that
are, but I know
third
you have
one
more
that we're
than
not
2.
even talking about
Yeah, well,
before.
okay. I'll come with
Yeah.
the other one because the first one was Joseph
Yes,
Simkovich.
Yes.
we established and worked out.
Yes. That one is
Okay.
definitely there, and then probably another one that
The
I
one
don't
maybe
know.
before
and
that.
then
That's fair.
Jaxper Sim. Maeve is
I was
on.
gonna say, Paget is a great person to teach Maeve how to lie, but if any of us is gonna teach Maeve how to disappear, it's gonna be the man of 1,000 names.
It's true. Maeve is on there. Ellis is on there. Jaxper is on there with a couple of aliases. Paget is not on there.
Looking good.
Cool.
And you are valuable. You are flattered by the sum of money that the Earth Coalition Party is offering for you.
Oh shit, I should hunt myself. All right.
That
Turn
seems like
myself in for a tide of profit.
Can you use that for a lawyer?
Like if you arrest yourself, get paid the bounty and hire a lawyer. You know, it's
Nope.
never been
Not
done. But I don't know if
exactly.
it's illegal.
Can like
Not
you
exactly how
pull it
the,
around?
Not exactly how the Earth Party Coalition operates. There's not really trials and lawyers
Yeah.
and things like that.
I don't think we're gonna get to stand trial for this.
Well, it's a thought.
But don't tell Maeve
Yeah.
that because I'm pretty sure if she finds out that I plan on just diving on that particular grenade, she'll probably try to stop me and do something or some shit.
Who are we to deny her the chance?
So keep in mind the scope of this is thus. So the Earth Party Coalition runs Earth basically. But individual nations still technically exist. The United States of America still technically exists. You know, different countries still exist. The UK still exists. However, their governments almost universally answer to the Earth Party Coalition, and the Earth Party Coalition is more interested in keeping the mega corporations happy than they are in ensuring that any of these like local governments function in any meaningful way. So you are not wanted by the United States of America. You are not even wanted by like a mega
UK
corporation.
or something. Yeah, exactly.
You are wanted by the Earth Party Coalition.
Right.
So what will happen to Jaxper is that, and he's not saying this, is almost certainly that he will turn himself over and then he will immediately be broken down for parts and sold back to
Stedman
Zhang and Crucible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems fairly likely. There is the one silver lining is that Tranquility, as long as you are on Tranquility, the Earth Party Coalition has no jurisdiction there, and auditors are not officially allowed to operate.
So we might still get
as-
attacked, but we won't be like arrested.
Yeah,
Yeah, we just have to worry about bounty hunters.
I mean,
and like
Always.
auditors that are not acting in an official capacity. So basically, bounty.
So how did these auditors who were on Taka, like, how was that an official capacity? Because, you know, they just jumped us.
They did. So the thing about it is that Takamagahara did not identify you. You were not wanted by Takamagahara
Right.
because your silent running stopped them from figuring out who you were, and you disappeared almost as soon as they saw you.
No,
So,
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying those first auditors who jumped us that we ended up killing, or whose unconscious bodies we left in an oxygen-reduced environment, and who unfortunately expired in an untimely fashion. Those guys.
that was on the
that was
other
on-
station.
That was on Taka. That was on the
No,
No,
that
That
was
wasn't
on that random station out in the middle of nowhere.
Where we started.
Shit. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I thought I got
that was
mixed up.
that was on one of the ring gates. But you are technically
Oh.
correct in that the ring gates are extensions of Tranquility. So the auditors presumably should not have been operating in any official capacity.
They were breaking
Um,
rules.
Okay.
Hard to
What
imagine.
in the hell? Yeah, nobody would do that.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. I'm developing a plan here.
So,
You say that out
on
loud
the-
because Alice's reaction to that is definitely, all right.
No, I mean, if anybody asks him, it's gonna just be, he's like, yeah, we're gonna play Let's You and Him Fight. Again.
What's you and him?
Tranquility and the Earth Coalition.
Oh. I mean, yeah, I guess that might work. They don't exactly get along.
Yeah.
Pitting good powers against each other is usually a good idea, at least.
We just have to not fuck up a whole bunch on Tranquility.
It's a good thing we've got a predestination where we can land then, huh?
Yeah.
Your friend
It
call
would-
you back?
It would really be a shame if somebody
The
left.
gentility of that question. Did your friend call you back?
I will check my phone.
Yeah, because I watched all those videos that Ellis made me watch, and I definitely, we're getting towards the end of the second day. I'm gonna need to start putting in, coordinates to land, so you gotta
Yep.
tell me where to
Yes.
land.
Yep.
Your handheld does not have a signal receiver strong enough to receive like messages sent through the link. So anything that does come through is going to come directly to the ship. And as of right now, you have not received a reply from Dr. Hayworth.
Maybe somebody else should also call him.
Do you
Because-
Hey, Jax, what did you send to him?
Yeah, just
had
fucking
fun.
grip it and rip it,
Hey.
baby.
Good timing.
Slop that
Thanks,
down,
Brandon.
dude. Shit,
Thank you,
dude.
Brandon.
Crack one for the big boy.
Thank you.
Now we're just $50 away from meeting our goal of explaining how Boner's God anime works.
Mhm.
I'm a people person. I can make a phone call.
That might be great to do.
That might be super necessary, huh, Jax?
Listen, I
What happened?
was
Mhm.
I explained to him the situation.
Why do I feel like that involved more bodily threat than you're putting on?
They were
Mm-hmm.
veiled threats,
Mm-hmm.
more promises, and I
Yeah.
did say that we were hopefully gonna talk, like not have it be shitty. I did express that we were planning. Plan A was for nothing to be shitty, and hopefully he wouldn't be shitty. But if he was gonna be shitty, I
You
expressed that
Told him that?
he apparently knows who I am.
Well, let's hope that he understands that you're a man who tends to talk beyond what's necessary. I hope you didn't threaten this man too deeply, Jaxper. We need a place to land.
I mean, maybe somebody call him and find out.
That's a heavy shrug. Please give him a call, Paget.
Paget's like, okay,
All right.
all right.
Phone calls. Figuring out the phone on the ship. All right.
I read the
Uh,
schematics. I spent days learning. I know what I'm doing. You didn't question me before I told you the truth. I don't know why you're questioning me so much now. I helped you kill those men. I don't
You
need this
did, that's
attitude.
true. You did do an excellent job of killing them, man.
We knew each other for less than 24 hours, and I helped you kill those men.
We are both from
Don't-
Texas. I
don't
helped you
judge me
kill that
now.
man. You cannot turn this around on me.
That's right. I've known you for 68 hours. I helped you kill 2 men. You and I are bound in blood.
We are trauma bonded, and I
That's
hope
right.
you understand the depth of that statement.
Mm.
I'll never forget you, and I mean that in multiple ways.
So Paget, you can absolutely just respond to the doctor's original message. What are you saying?
So I watched back the message, and I don't understand all of it, obviously, because there's some kind of unspoken implications there that only apply to them, and I have I know we're going to Tranquility for more than this doctor. I know, from what I understand, the plan was to go there before, like, regardless of him.
Mm-hmm.
So when she calls, she's going to ring it up, and she's going to say, hello, this is Padgett Iscalius calling on behalf of the crew of the Nephilim. We are on approach, and we are requesting your landing details for Safe Harbor. We have plans to talk, and we do mean talk.
Okay.
Thank you, hugs and kisses, and then she ends it.
All right. So on the next day, you Adele, I think you forgot to mute yourself. You're good.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm answering work emails.
I was adjusting the like noise filter, and I was like, maybe I can get it, and I couldn't get it.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. So you the next day, the third day, as you were beginning your approach into Tranquility, you are all alerted that you receive another message. This time from the doctor, not from Hugo. And his reply looks very similar to the first message that he sent. It's sort of just him sitting there, talking directly at you. You can sort of see in the background, it's like a study of some kind, perhaps. You can see that there are books on shelves back along the walls. Everything looks to be a very like richly paneled wood. He seems to be sitting in a very comfortable, sort of large leather-back chair. And there is a backlight, like a big window behind him, where you can see sort of like sunshine just sort of streaming down. You can very vaguely sort of see the outlines of like tall buildings that the light is shining off of past him. And he takes a second when it first starts, the message first starts. Not that, like, in a weird way, Jaxper, in a weird way for all of you, it sort of reminds you of Jaxper. He says, look, I think I perhaps didn't communicate exactly what it is that I am, exactly who I am, or what it is that I am trying to do here. I would never do anything to endanger you or your friends, Jaxper. I promise you that all I am trying to do here is give you somewhere safe, where you can rest and hopefully help you. Given the tone.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Do you want to ask a question about him, or
is he still wearing a white coat?
No, he's wearing a dark green turtleneck. Okay. He keeps talking, and he says, if but by the tone of your last message, I'm going to assume that you've surmised exactly who I am, and I suppose I can't blame you for being defensive, cautious. Let's say. But there are things that they never told you about where you come from and what they were trying to do, what I was trying to do. They only saw a fraction of what it was that I was setting out to make. And it was clear to me that if I were to remain on Earth, I would meet an untimely end. But leaving you and your brothers behind was one of the biggest regrets of my life, and I have spent the last 50 years of my life trying to find each and every one of you. I promise you that. Look, just come to my home. And I'll explain everything. I promise. But I need you to trust me. And I know that's a big ask. I know that I'm asking you for quite a lot in that, but yeah, I suppose that's it. Hope I see you soon. And that's the end of the message.
Did he include landing details?
Well, he didn't because there's really only one option for landing on Takamagahara. I'm sorry, on Takamagahara, on Tranquility. There is one location that like people who are coming to Tranquility for trade or coming to Tranquility for like trade or even visiting are allowed to be in. There's like basically the sort of like tourist city, and then there is the rest of the moon.
Yeah, I presumed that. I didn't know if he had like when you go to like Aspen, there's the small private airports for like
so like rich people.
Yeah, like I didn't know if he was
Like
gonna tell us like one of those, or like
No,
I guess we'll just land and give his name when we land. Like how are we?
Yeah, I think he would have said that let me know. The message would have included like let me know when to expect you, and I will be there, and I will meet you there, and then I will sponsor you. And those of you who have spent any time on Tranquility know what a big deal that is. Because that means that you will be allowed to leave the like landing city.
Hey, Maeve.
Yeah.
We got any like sheet metal you need bent? I need to go hit something. Anything
I
you
don't
need?
know. Do I have any sheet metal bending I need for this auto dock I'm making?
We'll say yes.
Sweet. Yeah, come help me. You can beat the frame into shape and I'll work on the fiddly bits.
Yeah, Jaxper's gonna go spend some storm. Because Jaxper's real mad.
What a beautiful symbiotic relationship.
Yeah.
Don't say the R word.
It's too late. Paget said it. She saw that happen and she watched them leave and she's like, ah, yes, good.
But do you say it in front of anyone, like Ellis?
I mean,
Yeah,
was
when you
Ellis
say relationship, I think Alice is like,
I didn't say a romantic relationship. I said a symbiotic relationship. Whatever y'all's damage is
Still,
y'all's damage.
I feel like you have to say it in front of Maeve so that Maeve can hit you with the oh, it's not like that. He's like my brother. just like to really just
Preferably
Oh.
salt in the
with
wounds.
Jaxper there to
Just
witness
far
it.
enough in the room to hear it. Yeah.
Yep. Poor Jaxper.
Jaxper's only ever had brothers.
That's true. That's true.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
It's like-
Fair enough. Fair enough.
She's just like, all right, cool.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
You
Not saying
know,
I understand,
So, yeah.
but fair enough.
if love be rough with you, be rough with love. Bye. Fuck off.
Yep.
yeah.
Uh,
Jaxper's just
so-
gonna go beat the shit out of some stuff with his hands for a while.
Yeah, you see the moon, presumably Paget, maybe Ellis also. You see the moon as you begin your approach. It comes into view, and then as you get closer to it, you start to see more and more of these structures that cover every square inch of its surface. You see these like domes, these shining domes reflecting the light. And the whole thing sparkles almost like a Christmas ornament. And as you get within like landing distance of the ship, you are almost immediately approached by another vessel. At least you think it's a vessel at first. Shortly thereafter, shortly after it starts to approach it, after you spot it, you realize that it is autonomous. It is an autonomous unit. It looks like it is it looks like it is dark blue. It is colored dark blue, and it has these two like sort of prongs extending out of it. But it sort of approaches you.
Ellis, use the arm to shake its hand.
We greet
they
you.
aren't like they aren't like your grappler arms. They're rigid. They're basically just like two long sort of pieces of metal that come out the front of it. They're like dull at the end. Otherwise, they would almost look like swords.
So
And
this
these-
is a space forklift.
Yeah,
A sporklift.
a sporklift. It as it approaches you, its body, the body of it is actually relatively small. And then it just has these two enormous things coming off the front of it. And it opens up a communication frequency with you automatically and says, Vessel Nephilim, you've been cleared for arrival in Luna. You will be met by your sponsor, Dr. Ivan Hayworth. Dr. Ivan Hayworth. And your ship will be held by Tranquility until such time as you are ready to depart.
Thank you.
Acknowledged.
I will now-
Yay!
Cool.
I will now begin listing Tranquility laws and protocols that you agree to adhere to by setting foot on the surface of the moon. If you fail to
good.
meet any of these requirements, you will be approached and perhaps questioned and perhaps detained by peacekeepers. Thank you. And
What a thoughtful word.
these like arms come out. These arms that are coming out just sort of like widen a little bit, and then sort of slide off onto either side of the ship, and then close. And there is a slight metallic clank as you realize that they affix themselves magnetically to the outside hull of the Nephilim. Your systems, your propulsion kicks off at that moment, as presumably this thing takes control of your ship. Your life support and everything stays on, but now you are sort of being like steered and guided by this creation itself.
I look over at Ellis and I'm like, I watched all those videos and I don't even get to try to land.
I know this is kind of bullshit, honestly, but like at least you're prepared for next time. We'll do a refresher in 6 months just to make sure you're still on target. But yeah, either way, I guess let the robot do it. I don't know.
It pulls you down to it pilots you down to Luna, presumably. The visitor city. It just looks like a dome. Just looks like a dome that you can't see through. It's not translucent. As you begin your descent and start to approach it, but you can see coming off of it sort of covered tunnels. They look like at first. You realize that these are actually probably the highways that connect all of the different cities on Tranquility. But they, like the dome itself, are completely covered, and so you can't see you can't see any traffic that's presumably passing through them. The drone brings you down just outside of the dome of Luna, where it pilots you into a docking bed. It is easily the smoothest descent any of you have ever experienced. Obviously benefited by the fact that you don't have to break atmosphere or anything like that. But even so, it is still a very smooth operation, and like you are barely conscious of it taking you down until suddenly there is a little like musical chime, and it says, "We have reached our destination. Welcome to Luna." And you hear a sort of a whoosh as your cabin depressurizes and the door opens up, the airlock opens up.
Paget is bouncing out with absolute excitement. She has never set foot on a surface other than Earth.
What are the laws about carrying weapons here?
Oh yeah, no, don't do that. I mean, the laws about carrying weapons anywhere are don't do it. So like that's how Ellis gets away with it. Ellis like breaks it down into 20 different pieces and then just puts them together into whatever configuration he needs.
Yep.
But the rest of you, like, is a wrench a weapon? Not unless you use it like one. Is a gun a weapon? Yeah, a gun's a weapon. Is a knife a weapon? Yeah, a knife's a weapon.
It's a utility knife. It has.
I thought you were about to say it's a utility gun, and I was gonna be like, I want to know how that argument flies.
It's a utility nano blade. I need it. It's my
it's my emotional support nano blade.
This is my emotional support knife.
Just like anywhere else, you are free to try to take whatever you want with you.
I think that after significant argument, Jaxper does not take God in Anime, but probably hides the nano blade on his person.
Okay.
And because it's his emotional support knife.
Right? Yeah, we got that. Any of the rest of you, Ellis, are you bringing the welcome wagon?
Yeah, if I can break it down sufficiently that I think I can get away with it. For sure.
Okay. You are absolutely welcome to try it. Any of you are welcome to try to hide anything you want on your person. Totally up to you.
I'm not hiding anything. This is a purely mechanic wrench. It's fine. It's for if I need to fix anything. Like someone's face.
Just in case you need to fix anything. Like someone's face. Cool. So you step out through the airlock, all of you, and you are greeted by the sound of sunshine. The sound of sunshine. You were greeted by
sunshine.
You were greeted by the sounds. You were greeted by the sounds of the ocean, and the feel of sunlight, and a cool breeze on your face. You see none of these things except for the sun, obviously. What you step out into is a short, like, tunnel and you can see the sunlight streaming through the opposite end of it. You walk down that, and as you do so, this series of lights set along the top and the sides of this tunnel sort of like come on as you walk past them, and then turn off as you keep moving. And a second later, you emerge into this blindingly bright sunlight at first, coming from the inside of your ship for the past 3 days. And you are sort of standing in an area, almost looks like a public park with more of these tunnels all feeding into this middle area. And there is a rich blue sky above you with almost no clouds to be seen. The sun is, like I said, streaming down. You can feel like ocean breeze against your face. And there are other people similarly emerging from tunnels, most of them very well dressed, very wealthy looking. But in the middle of all of this, you spot somebody that you recognize. You spot Dr. Hayworth from the video. He is a tall man, very like sort of on the slim side, matches the high cheekbones that you've seen in the video. Same snowy white beard, same sort of carefully parted snowy hair. He is not wearing a lab coat, but he does have some sort of a almost looks like a bracing system down his left leg, sort of like a very like a framework, but one that is very tightly like built to his skin. And he smiles at you, and he waves you over. And upon approaching him, he smiles even wider, and he looks almost doesn't even appear to see the other three of you, because he sort of like looks straight at Jaxper, and that's what makes him sort of smile all the wider. And he says, welcome to Tranquility.
Nice place.
Yeah, it's real pretty, Doc.
It's certainly unlike any other place I've ever been. I'm very glad that you came, Jaxper. We have a lot to talk about. I know I keep saying that.
Yeah, I'm sure we do. That's Maeve. Paget. That's Ellis. It's my crew.
Thanks for having us.
Hello. Hello, of course. Yes, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to neglect you. I don't know where my manners are. I'm so sorry. There's a car outside that's going to take us to my home. We can talk more there, but Jaxper, I know you were apprehensive about trusting me and about coming here, and I've spent such a long time thinking about this moment, and I figure that the easiest thing to do is probably just to say it. But Jaxper, I created the first nanobots. So
You want to do this like
what
here, like in the open, like with a whole bunch of people around? Because not thrilled about that. I've survived by being pretty on the DL, as it were.
No, of course, but you're safe here. Like nowhere else. This is where people will understand you, and what it is that you've been through.
I didn't get jumped by auditors on Tranquility Station.
I'm sorry. This isn't how I imagined this. This isn't how I imagine this going. Yeah, maybe we should save this for another time. I'm sure
Let's
you're all tired and
yeah, just get off the street, man. Like,
of course. Yes, right this way. Follow me. I mean, he's pretty clearly crestfallen.
Jaxper is like every so often hazing at the edges still, like
Yeah.
has been trying very, very hard not to use any of his nanite stuff. He's been lifting weights with just his muscles. He's been, he did not try to heal his busted knuckles after punching a bunch of sheet metal. But now he's just like you can see the little blue haze around him from just being completely fucked up by this.
The Hayward leads you out to a car that is waiting. It is a very old a very old looking Oldsmobile, but like very well cared for, and clearly like not an original one, but it has been made to look like one, definitely. And the door opens as he approaches, automatically, and you can all step into it. He would certainly gesture for you to do so. Um,
Paget's gonna
Ye-
sit up
what's up?
front.
Okay. There actually is no upfront, because when you get in the inside, it's sort of built like a limousine where there's like just the sort of the chairs like sort of facing each other. Um, Self-driving cars are like very common. You were in plenty of them when you were in San Antonio. But as we all may recall, there's like a self-driving unit that is implanted into a regular car. And, if you want to like mess with that circuitry, somebody could. And then, if they didn't do a good job of it, then the car might like drive itself, over a hill and damage itself and sort of rattle everybody around. The inside of this car, you don't see any sort of like system. You don't see any sort of unit that would drive this. On the inside, it is just sort of like paneled. The seats are leather, as far as you can tell, and it's just like the two seats sort of facing each other. Um, and he like gestures for you to sit down. He sees you, Jaxper, and he like leans forward and like almost like reaches out to like sort of like touch, like sort of to touch you. But he like touches the edge of like where you're fuzzing, where you're like slightly blue, and he says, "How long has this been happening?"
You know about my brothers?
Yeah, of course.
I am currently 3 of us. I was 4 of us for a minute.
Jaxper, that's
Really fucking bad idea? Yeah.
I mean, it's a miracle you're not dead.
Yeah, Shervin keeps telling me.
I mean, look, we'll figure it out. All right. I mean, between the two of us, we'll figure it all out.
Just gotta get them bodies. I can dump them. As long as I can dump them into some bodies, it'll be fine.
He pauses for a very long time, and he says, You're my son, Jaxpa. Well, I suppose, not. Look, I created the thoughts that live inside you and lived inside your brothers, but only one of you was created from my genetic material. And I know that maybe doesn't mean anything to you because I mean it's all I'm sure it all feels very arbitrary, but I never stopped looking for you. But you're very good at disappearing. There were so many times that I almost did. I'm not trying to claim some sort of relationship between us, Jax, but I don't want you to think that, but I would very much like to try to help you and your friends, and maybe one day be a part of your life in some way, in some capacity. You don't have to say anything, of course. I'll just...
Yeah. Jaxper is going to actually just sort of just stare out the window. Like he's got that thing where his face has gone like really, really red, like just around his eyes, like that, like I'm very obviously I'm not gonna fucking cry. And like pings if what's his name, Hayworth has a cell phone or has a communication thing, he's going to just ping that and say with a text message that says, I have no idea what you want me to say.
Yeah, he will reach into like a actually no, you sort of see this sort of like flash of light, this sort of flash of green light just sort of travel across his eyes, and he nods and looks out the window in the opposite direction. And then the three of you are just chilling in the car as it drives up, pulls out into one of the tunnels leading out of Luna, and as soon as you pass overhead, there's a split second where you realize you were entering a small enclosed space, and then the like sunlight and everything is gone, and it is just like an empty, vast sort of night sky above you as you drive through this tunnel. And that is where we're going to call it for this week.
Yeah.
Welcome to Tranquility, everyone.
Yay!
Drama.
Yay.
Drama. Interpersonal drama.
Just immediately,
We
just
love
like,
it.
oh.
We love the interpersonal drama. Yeah. So cool, everybody. Thank you for watching. And thanks for playing to all of our wonderful players. If this was your first time catching us, or if you've seen us lots of times before, if you chatted or followed us for the first time tonight, or if you donated or subscribed or any of that, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much. It means the world to us, and it lets us keep doing this. We literally wouldn't be able to do this without all of you. So thank you again. We will be back in 2 weeks with more Nephilim. But we have a lot of cool stuff coming up this week. Tuesday night, I believe, I haven't heard otherwise, is going to be Missing Numbers, which is our Pokemon game. It's weird and creepy, and also wholesome sometimes. I reverse the order. It's often wholesome, sometimes weird and creepy. might be a video game stream or something during the week. And then on next Sunday, there's going to be Pulp Diction, which is our Call of Cthulhu game. And that's a lot of fun. It's pulp. They're killing trolls, I believe. That's the plan anyway. It's gonna be a very, very good time. So definitely check that out on Sunday if you are so inclined. More Nephilim in 2 weeks. Missing Numbers on Tuesday. We'd love to see you there. That's a lot of fun. And we are doing a convention. We're doing a virtual tabletop RPG convention. Game listings, game signups actually went live today. There are still lots of different games that do not have a full host of players. So if you'd like to join the Discord and sign up for some of those games, or just like meet a lot of cool people, you can do that. The link is at the card that I just posted. If you want to keep up with us, you can follow us on Twitter. We tweet all the time. It's a lot of fun. It's Twitter. Sometimes it's fun. Sometimes it's awful. You can follow us on there, or you
Turn
can
autoplay off right now.
Yeah.
yeah, that's good advice. Do that. Don't let the videos play automatically.
Yeah.
Or you can join our own Discord community. That's separate from Gen Con, but it's a cool place where lots of fun people hang out. We talk about games, we post memes, post a lot of pet pictures. Everybody's super nice and super supportive, and it's just a good community all around. We'd love to see you in there if you want to join. All of that being said, I think that is all of the housekeeping. So we are going to disappear for like 1 second, and then we are going to raid one of our friends, very fine tabletop RPG creators. Mind Criminal in the chat, who is Brendan, who's one of our GMs who run the Missing Numbers, suggested another group who are playing Pathfinder for Planned Parenthood, also raising money for Planned Parenthood. So kind of a no-brainer. If you'd like to ride along for that, let them know that we said hi, let them know that we sent you, and we will join you in that endeavor very shortly. So all that, we are going to disappear. Thanks again, and we will see you very soon. Have a good one, everybody.